This is the best high school teacher in the world, and he's responsible for any success I have had in my life. Why do you hate the educational system?
I don't hate the education system. I love it because I love everything.
No, you hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't like the way it's happening, but I don't hate it. I cannot say I hate it. You cannot hate the system itself.
Do you believe that it's a cancer?
Even if I believe it, I will not say it in front of the camera anyway. Because I'm supposed to be a teacher, so I'm serving the education system. How can I criticize it?
So
the way you want me to criticize it.
No, criticize it.
Cancer, come on.
Tell me your opinion. Why do you don't like
you started? Tell me, ask me the day of when I was born, where I was born, how do I feel?
No, tell.
Started from the deepest, the most difficult question.
Why you don't like the educational system, and why is the educational system not good?
The way it's conducted, I think most people understand that something is wrong with it. I think even those that they say that we have to maintain the way it is, I think they recognize that something is wrong. That's why they're trying to reform it. I don't agree with the term reform, because I think if something is producing bad results, if you reform it, you make it more efficient. So you make it producing worse results. So reform, such a system like the education system, I think needs something more radical than reform.
So it shouldn't
but
be.
But still, they recognize that it needs something to change.
But do they recognize? Because
and I tell you, always every education system in the planet is under reform. Always, they say we have to reform it. We are reforming it. We have to reform it.
Not to change it
the
completely.
The problem is that it doesn't need reform. It needs to completely change it to transform, not reform, into something else.
But
I want to talk about other subjects.
Why?
My job is not fun.
Why is not good the way it is?
Okay, most people think that it's not good because it's not producing good results. I think it's the wrong results, first of all. We're looking for the wrong results. The results are, what are the results in the education system? Are the notes, isn't it? I mean, you give an exam, you get a number. So if they see this number is not high, the average from the whole country, of the whole world, whatever, is not high. So there is a problem. They want it higher.
So the way that we judge the students
first of all, is not just the way. We could probably judge them. I don't agree with judgment in general.
Why?
In general, but now forget the general. I don't agree in judging students, first of all. But even if you want to judge them, at least judge them in the right results, in things that matter. Because I think giving an exam is like you judge somebody about their ability to sit in front of a piece of paper, which is rare anyway in our lives, except of you. You have a piece of paper in front of you. Mostly people have in front of them screens now. So even that, and going to the future, because we're talking about people that they're going to work, they are going to live their lives in the future. So pieces of paper will not be in front of them at all. Okay, you give them a piece of paper instead of a screen, or whatever, who knows what will be when they will grow up. Okay, you give them a piece of paper, you ask them to make a task alone in front of a piece of paper with a pen. They will never have to do this in their life. They will never have to be alone, thinking alone, which is something wrong. I think thinking alone is not for humans. And humans are not creatures that they think alone. We are like society. We are this super organism. Many things you know what I'm talking about, and I can't pretend that you don't know them. So because we're talking so much about all this stuff that we're going to talk now. It's funny for me trying to pretend that you don't know what I'm talking about. So everything I'm going to say now, he knows. So
no, I don't.
The audience now, because we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, so many years. It's non-stop. So he knows everything I know, and I know everything he knows. So I have to pretend that he knows nothing. Like this super organism, of course you know, because we develop together all this.
superorganisms, for the people that they don't know, is that we are a lot stronger together.
We are-
When I come up about YouTube ideas with my friends, when I'm alone and think about YouTube ideas, I will come with a lot less good ideas.
Yeah, it's not just this. It's even more. It's like for Homo sapiens as a species, we are what people think. Some scientists think that we are what they call eusocial species, like the bees, the ants, the termites. That the unit of the species is not the individual. The unit of the species is the team. It's the clan. It's the tribe. So for a bee to be successful as an organism is not the individual bee, it's the beehive. So that's why the bees can easily kill somebody. When they kill somebody with their sting, they die. They don't care to die because they are not the unit. The unit is the whole team. So these are the eusocial animals. The other end of the spectrum is the more familiar one is the cat. The cat is not a team. The cat is like individual. The cat cares about itself. This is a strategy of the genome of the cat. Like the genes of the cat knows that they're going to be propagated in the next generation through the individual, through the cat. In between the spectrum, it's like the dogs. Like the dogs are like living together in a group. They're not like the cats. They are in a group. Not the dogs. Let's say the wolf. There's no difference between a wolf and a dog. It's supposed to be the same species, but the dog adapted to the human, living next to the human. So let's take the wolf. The wolf is like a social animal, like living in a group all together, but maybe it's not considered that the unit is the group and not the individual. So there are some scientists, I don't remember their names now anyway, some biologists and etc., that they believe that we are like a social animal. Like let's imagine the chimps that supposed to be our closest relatives, or our direct ancestor with the chimps like 6 million years ago. They were like social, like the wolves. And now evolution thought, quote unquote thought, this tragedy for our species to go towards eusocialism. Like to be...
So we're between cats and
between
bees.
Dogs and bees, let's say. Between dogs, social, because we were social. All the great apes are social animals. No great ape, I think the orangutans, I think they are more towards the...
But how does this correlate to the education system?
You forgot how we started talking about it.
No, I know, but how...
I know that you know everything I know. So.
Okay, but how this? We are eusocial animals, but so the kids...
Be patient.
Okay.
So if human beings are supposed to thrive in teams, like the bees, like the ants, why we make the students and judge who is the best, who are those that we will promote them to go further in society, why we judge them individually? That's the problem. It's like you take an ant and you judge it like a cat. And one ant is not an organism. It's useless. Cannot live alone. The cat can. The ant cannot. It's no such thing as an ant. It's a team. So humans are more close to this. So you should judge the team, not the individual. That's one of the problems. But judging the people who are good in this.
So, for example, if judging me based on the editing abilities that I have, I was going to be a bad YouTuber.
Yeah,
but because I have a good team, we judge the channel. I'm a good YouTuber because I have a good team around me, and we are social animals that we do things together.
Kind of, yeah. And then the team is within another team, and maybe the whole humanity can.
And humanity works in teams for the most part.
Works in teams. Okay, humanity, Homo sapiens, supposed to be working, living. I mean, the organisms, I'd say these super organisms, that is not one individual, it's supposed to be 150 or 100. It is called, how we call these numbers, or Dumben number or something like this. I forgot the name of the scientists who figured this out. That I'm very bad in remembering names anyway. But you will figure out how to correct and found the right name and put. So they figure out that humans thrive. The unit I was talking before is like 150, around 100, let's say. So
150
maximum,
people together
could
thrive.
Be like 20, could be like 30, maximum 150, probably 200. I think less, like 150. So the base is like 100, let's say. So you have to judge the whole team together. Like you have to judge the big. If you want to judge,
so they should make tests.
If you want to judge the bees, you will not judge the bee. You will judge the beehive. So they say this beehive is better than that one. Then you can judge like this. So humans have to be judged as a team, and maybe one person in the team will be like the joker of the team. Maybe we'll make the fun part, make the environment very fun. So the whole team have one person. Let's say we want to judge them if they are good in physics. You take the team. A team is good in physics because the one guy is making jokes, making fun, and makes the others working better. Then you judge the team. This guy maybe is not very good in physics, but the team is good in physics because of that guy. If you put that guy alone to write an essay in physics, he will not be good, but the team is good because of him. So there are fundamental things that they need to change in education, I think. Anyway, but still, I'm not so much against. I don't say this because I'm afraid to say this openly because I'm supposed to be serving education. I don't hate it. I think it needs a lot of improvement in the extent that we need to transform, not reform it. So
I understand, but let's say with the test, like what's the ideal school look like? Like what is like? Okay, let's change it from the beginning. But
the ideal school could be no school if I want to be radical enough. But okay, you need a concentration of children anyway. So if you define school like a concentration of children, yes.
Why do you need a concentration with children?
Because I told you we are team.
They don't concentrate online.
Yeah, that's no problem. It is also a
okay.
But okay, well, I'm 53 whatever years old. I even forget my age. So I'm 53 years old, I guess, or 52. You know better, maybe. Anyway, yeah, I was born in 1970. Count anyway. Okay. So when I say team, immediately I imagine a physical team. Like, but we see that the virtual world, it can work equally well with the physical one. So why not to say that they need to team online, but still they need to team. If you define team like this, yes.
So I'm curious to, like, you did online lessons through in the COVID period.
Yeah, but this is a copy of the other one.
But do you think it can really work? No school at all, and the kids do stuff online. Do you saw them forming teams online?
No. I believe that if you compare the two, I mean, online education in the old style compared to physical education old style, of course, physical education old style is better. But what you said before, to gather online is something else. They gather online the whole day, kids.
So
through the social media.
You think the online education that happened in the schools for some period, it was not good?
It was even worse than the other one.
Why it was worse? The kids had more free time.
It was more centralized. Okay, I don't want to go in this realm because we're going to politics now. I'm against centralization also, but it's even more dangerous.
We're going to talk
political
about anarchism later. Then.
Okay, I don't define myself as an anarchist anyway because
more of that
because real anarchists are not anarchists. They don't have any ideology. So I don't like.
So tell me
anyway, but still, it was more centralized. It was less a team. So I'm talking about education. I told you before, I respect the idea of a team, not of an individual. Of course, the worst individual in this case is a teacher. Anyway, the idea of having a teacher, having a central figure in the team is problematic, I believe.
Why is problematic?
Because this is not the nature of humans anyway. I mean, I will go back to this. I always go back in these times anyway. Okay, I believe the agricultural revolution was a kind of disaster for our mentality because this is not our natural environment. It's still 10,000 years since the agricultural revolution is not enough to develop a new organ. So we are people. We are born to live in a society like it was 10,000 years ago. So we have to always go back to
being hunter-gatherers.
Yeah, we have to always
live in societies of 150 people, hunting and gathering, the Hadza people in Africa.
Like you are Hadza people in Africa, so you know it better than me how they live. But what we're talking about now is, okay, the one thing we were talking about is like, I believe that we have to go always back 10,000 years ago, if you want to understand humans in general.
Because we didn't have the time to evolve,
evolve in this new
this new thing. So
paradigm.
always we have to go back to understand what our nature is.
Yeah, this is what I mean. So if you go back in this paradigm, the first thing you see is that, as I was telling before, that we were a team, not individual. And second, that there was no central figure really in these hunter-gathering bands. So they had no leader. The leader of the tribe it's a myth. There was no leader in those tribes. And hunter-gatherer, I don't know about huts. Did you find out that there is a mighty strong leader in the middle? Okay, you have some alpha male, some that they are more dominant, they are more machoish, they are maybe better, whatever in social skills. But there was no definite leader. There was, I don't know, the last hunter-gatherers you experienced them maybe better than me. So did you find out that there is a mighty strong leader in the team? And
after you mentioned, when I went there, I thought there is a leader, but I didn't saw him because he was away for a couple of days.
They would tell you this is our leader.
So he came the last night only for I saw him for 20 minutes. So I didn't understand that he's higher than everyone, or they respect him.
He was making jokes with the other. They would.
Yeah, they were sitting. It was not sitting and everyone serving him food or something like that.
So you know what I guess? They would call him the leader because people expect them to have a leader. So it was kind of cultural translation. They would need to present somebody. I guess I was not there, but because I have experience with this kind of things. I've also lived among some other hunter-gatherers. And anyway, I know about these things. Cultural translation is always necessary. So I guess
Why is necessary?
Because you need to... why translation is necessary? If you talk in another language, somebody don't understand you have to translate in the language. So
you are saying basically these people were... the society around them forced them to have a leader. They told them...
No, maybe the tourists that go there, maybe the travelers, they always demand...
where is the leader and all
or they wanted to describe the role of this person in the society, and the closest they found in the other paradigm of the other, even for the people around them, because if I understood right, the Hadza people live among agriculturalists.
Yeah.
So the agriculturalists have a leader. They have a major, they have a president in the country, they have the leader figure in the village. So they always needed to present somebody as the leader because people outside expect them to have a leader. So that guy, he's supposed to be, I suppose, I don't know this guy, but I suppose it's something like an alpha male kind of
Okay, I get it. So how these translate to the educational system and that we don't need teachers?
So that guy is a teacher in the team. So, no, I believe that centralized systems, centralized societies or groups, whatever, work worse than not centralized one, decentralized. So having a centralized figure, the teacher or the leader of the team, whatever, is not our natural environment. It's not bad to have a leader, but it's not our environment. The bees have a leader, the queen, whatever. Humans have no leader. Decentralized systems work better than centralized one, I believe. Even if I'm not an anarchist, I declare. Okay, compare Wikipedia with the other encyclopedias. Why Wikipedia is much better than any other encyclopedia? Because it's decentralized. It has no author.
So I didn't know that Wikipedia is made by all the 8 billion.
All humanity is.
Yeah. Because everyone can edit it, everyone can add stuff.
There's no center. Center is not a good thing in general. The universe has no center. We always believe that the universe has a center. It was the Earth, then it moved to the sun, then in the center of the galaxy, and then we found out finally that there's no center. Center is not so natural in general. Having a center is not a natural thing in general. The universe has no center anyway. Now we believe now. Anyway, so the central figure is a teacher in the classroom, and I believe it's better not to. It's good to have an adult in group of, but to be like one of them. Like, let's figure it out together. Like, I would prefer an education with things that the teacher is not prepared about them. like somebody else put a question to the class that even the teacher knows nothing about the question. Let's say, I imagine now a class, whatever, with students and the teacher know more, not more than the student. He's not like the expert, the concrete expert in the middle that knows everything from before, knows even your fate, knows what he will ask from before. And it's not a natural thing. The natural thing is like the tribe of the hunter-gatherers, that they were facing the problem together. Okay, there is one more skilled learner, so it's like the leading learner. Let's call the teacher, would be ideally to be the leading learner. The learner that is more experienced, but the thing that they should face in the classroom, I believe, would be better to be unknown to all of them. Like somebody else, let's say, I imagine a system, I just imagine it now. So it's a good idea, actually, to have like the classroom and the teacher, the leading learner, and somebody else from outside put a question and say, I give you an hour, figure it out all together. So the leading learner would work more. And
the kids will not think that, this is a guy that knows everything. They will think, this is a human, and this is how he approached the problem.
It's not interesting. If in the team one of us knows the answer, then what are we doing
now?
So
that's one of the reasons that you don't prepare for lessons that you do.
I shouldn't say this in front of the camera because I'm supposed to prepare a lot. This is a part of what I have to do. So if I say I don't prepare, it will be not a good idea for me. But, okay, I prefer not to prepare. Sometimes I don't prepare. I prefer
for you to kind of figure out the answers with the...
I believe when I put to the students an exercise, I prefer not to see it myself, how I solve it. So I figure it out in front of them because at least I show them the way I do it.
There is a lot of ego involved in this stuff. Like every teacher, I suppose, it will have big problem to do that in their classroom because
it's not their fault. It's a fault.
The society, the system is based.
The society,
like that.
The system is trying to find the fault of the teacher. So if you are not prepared, of course you will make mistakes. And many times my students found the answer before I found it. If we tried together. But I'm proud because I made students that they found the answer more quickly than me. It means I'm a very good teacher.
And other people will say you are a stupid teacher.
Yeah, they were stupid because the students know better. Because the teacher is like the coach. The coach does not have to be better football player than the players. The players play better football than the coach. Of course, nobody expects the coach to play football better than the players. Why they expect the teacher to know better physics than the students? Many times when I do it like this, we discuss together. Of course they will, they're cleverer than I am, not very clever. Maybe I have experience, maybe I have others, but of course their brains work much faster anyway. Especially if they have to find things online, then I'm hopeless. But still, many times they figure it out before me and I have no problem. But other teachers, because society...
So you think also internet should be allowed in the class while you solve the problems? And Wi-Fi.
Of course, in the class, not only in the class, even in the exams, needs to be allowed because, okay, if you say now that you need to have internet in the classroom, of course it sounds like cheating, isn't it? If you enter the internet, you will find the answer. Okay, then found questions that is not cheating when you look in the internet. Whatever can be cheated, any cheatable is cheating by itself, by default. Whatever can be cheated upon is cheating itself. If you can cheat by any means, then it means you already cheated.
So you're saying that it should be a better reform question that it
cannot be cheated, cannot be.
And that's a good question to be because
a good question.
So it will be like, what's the meaning of life?
Okay, things like that. Yeah, things like that. So. If a question
because it cannot be cheated, it's not an answer that's straightforward. It should be research.
There's no way to be cheated. So if there's no way to be cheated, then it's a good question. If you can cheat it, then whoever answers this question is potentially cheating. For example, take two students, put them the same question. The one is cheating with a piece of paper who has the answer underneath and he watched it, and this is proper cheating. The other one had a tutor who taught him before or trained him to be good in exams, because tuition, or even the way we teach to the test now, this famous saying, teach to the test. The way we teach now at school to the test, it's like you prepare them for the exams. It's like the same kind of cheating. It's like you prepare for an exam. If you prepare for something, it means you cheat anyway. So even if you prepare the piece of paper having it underneath, or if you memorize things, what's the difference? If you memorize the paper, still you're cheating, but it's not considered to be cheating. But even if you don't memorize, the way we teach is like making them be good in the exam, in the test. So
I never consider that is the same like having the paper there with you.
Of course, if you memorize and you don't understand, it's exactly the same. But even if you don't memorize, if you know how to find out, the fact that you was prepared for a test, educational test is like medical test. Can you imagine people to prepare for having a medical test? Prepare their blood pressure, prepare to appear good in the test. I mean, it's ridiculous. So preparation in general, whatever you can prepare upon, it's cheating by default. By
so
definition.
We should remove generally test and stop this.
If you want to
test and exams.
Okay, if you want to test, allow the team. Okay, test the team. And test it in front of internet and put questions that they cannot be preparable, because cheatable equals preparable.
And test not individuals, test teams.
Test the team in front of the internet and allow them the internet. Allow them any
then you are going to understand if they can actually solve problems in the real world.
Yeah. Because this is the way they will be working.
And they will be trained from the teacher from before. Because the teacher, they will show them kind of his learning ways. Maybe they are wrong, maybe they are good.
Not train in the sense of preparing. Train because they live together, they experience searching and doing this stuff together with somebody who is more experienced than them. Should be the role.
You have a thing that you never want to teach people, like you.
Yeah, you go to the extremes now. I don't like the idea of teaching somebody. Okay, it's disrespectful.
But you are teaching constantly people. Like
I'm teaching because it's my job. I mean, come on. But
not to the student. All the time you are teaching people, but not if they ask you questions. If the topic is there, you are constantly giving.
I'm teaching you the whole day. It doesn't mean that I teach everywhere. I'm talking to you the whole day because you're asking me questions. You demand. How can I stop it? I mean, people that watching this have no idea what we're talking about. That you demand it so much. You're so much thirsty to learn that you made me teaching you, but you're making me teaching. But this is not teaching. You feel that I'm teaching you when we're doing what we're doing, this stuff. We're talking about things.
Of course, I'm learning. So maybe there's the wrong word that is
because you don't
teaching.
understand the whole picture. I'm learning together with you the stuff I'm teaching you. The moment I'm teaching you, I'm learning in that moment. Maybe most things I tell you, you think I always knew. I knew the night before most of them because you ask me, I look, I have no idea, and then it comes to the conversation. Most things that you think I told you, you told me. I'm not joking. I'm serious. You watch me like. now I destroy the legend. I don't know. So that I know everything, but this is true, man. Believe me, we're learning these things together. That's why it works so well.
You don't believe in teaching people. So all these people.
I don't like the idea of teaching
one
somebody.
person coming to force learning to the other person. It should be always from the motivation of the other person, like to ask questions, to lead
even if you demand, please teach me like you're doing with me. At the end, it's not teaching. Do you feel that I'm teaching you? Like you don't feel that we're talking and. Because I consider you my teacher somehow, because I'm waiting for your next question or whatever next silly things that will pop up in your mind to learn. Because if I have somebody in front of me, it's more personalized. Myself. Always I was searching. I like to search anyway. I cannot stop searching and learning and this kind of stuff. Never, non-stop, 24 hours. But now, if you are in front of me, it's more personal, more interesting. I know that, this thing I figured out, for sure Fidias will ask me one day. So let's learn about it more. Even if you don't ask me, whenever I found an information, whatever information, I say, I'm sure this will come up after a week or 2 weeks. Fidias will ask me about this anyway.
So
let's learn about it.
For people to understand, this is my high school teacher. He was, when I was 17 years old, the teacher of mine. And I understood that he is very interesting person, and in the class every time I was coming up with questions before the lesson
Oh, God.
about philosophy, about everything, about in general
Life, the
theories.
universe, and everything. Stressing on everything. Yeah.
And I was asking him questions there, and slowly after, I forced him to kind of to teach me more stuff.
Yeah, he forced me. Yeah.
in the
But during the classroom was torturing a bit because I had to deliver the curriculum. So I had to teach the other students. Of course, it was good that you had no exam at the end. It was, it's not this kind of lessons that you have exam at the end. So the classroom was divided in two parts. The ones that they were listening to Phidias and me talking, and the others that were just bored. And 10 minutes of lessons, okay, proper lessons, maybe maximum 15 minutes. But still, I think it was interesting.
So, and the last 4 years, it's been our countless conversations. I became very close friend with your family, and we hung out with my brothers and your kids and all this stuff. And you send me countless emails with
YouTube channel,
with YouTube videos of
yeah.
intellectuals, and like you put that's why I wanted to interview you first, because you kind of let me into the world of intellectuals, into physics, and to history, and to understand before
philosophy number one. Most important.
Before I met you, I was more like, I have to become a millionaire, I have to become successful, and I was like more one direction, trying to learn and like do all the stuff that helped me become a millionaire, that I thought you helped me. But slowly I understand that knowing about history, knowing about physics, knowing about all these different variety of topics, philosophy, and all this stuff make me become better YouTuber. And I'm listening a book now about generalization that is better than specialization.
Which book anyway? I don't.
I'm not 100% sure the name.
Anyway,
which is very interesting.
We're going to talk about it anyway for sure.
So
hundreds and hundreds of hours again.
So yeah, I just wanted to give the background story, and actually I'm very, very, very excited for this. I've been waiting for this moment for 3-4 years. And we were talking for this moment that
I hope we have a limited time in this studio.
We were talking 3 years ago that Joe Rogan, for example, may have the best university in the world.
In front of him,
because he has the cleverest people to interview. And it was, in the beginning, I was kind of, okay, it's interesting. But through understanding and through growing up and all this stuff, I found this to be kind of the best thing that I can do with my life.
Even to become a millionaire.
Yeah, no, to become, not even.
I'm not interested in this millionaire thing. I'm very bad in economics and financial things anyway. But still, you would figure it out anyway, because your idol, Elon Musk, is both. He's an intellectual and a millionaire. So he's very good intellectual, actually. As you know, of course. You know everything about Elon Musk. Anyway, you would figure it out through Elon Musk at least, because you would understand that to be a good millionaire, you have to be a good intellectual.
And do you understand kind of the role that you played in my life through all this stuff? Like
of course I understand, but I don't understand so much the millionaire thing, how we will influence so much. Okay, I kind of grasp. Okay, yeah, of course I understand for your intellectual growth and this, but
it's very difficult to find like a person like you are 53, 52 years old, and I am like, I was 18 and I had zero life experiences, and you kind of telling me spending all your time, like me hanging out with a person that knows about a variety of topics, has his experience in life. It played a huge...
Okay, but first of all, you have to know that I don't have an age. I think I have a kind of condition. I think I'm ageless. Really, I don't feel that I have an age. Really, I'm not joking. People that know me will understand that I don't really feel that I have an age. You know, my best friend before you, it was a person that, I don't know how old he must be now 90, he was 80. We were hanging around because my daughter were younger, so they had to go in the park next door to our house. Mr. Paris, I talk about this guy. And he was always in the park. He was a very old man. He was sitting in the park, had nothing else to do. He was sitting in the park. I had to sit in the park because I was like watching my daughter when you were very young. I'm against watching my daughters as they're playing, but still I was sitting there anyway, and then we became so close friends with this old man. I'm relatively young, and And we were so close. We were talking about anything you can imagine. With an old looking man, like an old traditional Cypriot man, but he was so interesting. So, and then after him, you became my best friend. So I don't feel I have an age, really. I don't feel
I like what you're saying, and but so you think people in school shouldn't be in the same class? The 15 years old with the 15 years old. School should be like mixed of ages.
No, in general, the group have to be mixed age in general. I mean, the classroom having kids in the same age it's against our hunting gathering past, because in hunting
we lived in tribes. Yeah,
we lived in tribes, and never unitary age. I mean, always younger kids learn from the older kids, and older kids from the older, and the older from the young adults, and the young adults from the older, and the older adults from the elders, and this is a dynamic and have no limit. So the 5 years old needs a 6 years old, and it's good for the 6 years old to have, let's say, 8 years old and 4 years old.
Yeah, and we limit so much their learning. We limit them so much to put them,
I think
because the 18 years old have more like experience. And some, for example, I feel when my brothers that are 13, 14 years old, they hang out with me, it's hugely beneficial to them.
Yeah, of course, yeah. This is the way it works. That's how they learn. The younger learn from the older, and the older learns how to care about the younger, like this. So they both learn. Like if in our paradigm, if I'm the older and you are the younger, I also learn, because I have to care about your learning, kind of. So I learn more, like, because when you teach, quote unquote, something, when you try to facilitate somebody else's learning, you also learn a lot. So the 8 years old, by trying to teach the 4 years old hunting gatherer how to hunt, is learning more how to hunt in general. Okay, in that moment, he want to show that he's older and he teach the younger, but still he's learning. So it will be beneficial not only from the ones that they will learn, but also from the ones that they will be teaching them.
Yeah, and this is kind of, I sometimes I speak with people, kind of teaching them about YouTube, and it's I got to understand that I learned so much.
The dumbest person, the more you learn.
The dumbest person, the more. That's interesting. So, what makes a good teacher?
To be not a teacher, man. Just you don't understand anything about what we're talking now.
So teachers should be. How we should choose the good teachers? How you should understand that someone is a good teacher?
In an educational system, if you want to have one, finally, and I believe that you need to have a kind of education system. I'm not so much against the system. And still, I enjoy the way it works. Like the education, even now, the way it works for me is very enjoyable. I like it very much. I like my work, my job very much. It's not like I hate the system. I go there and I hate myself. On the contrary, I think other teachers that they teach more traditional, maybe they hate it more. I don't hate. I love it. I really love my job. But I think it's not beneficial for the kid. For me, very, very much, because I have a very good time. I like to hang around with you. I have many students like you, and funny, and their humor, they're incredible. Young people are incredible, and for an old person like me, it's a privilege to be among young people. It's a huge privilege. I can't get, maybe that's why I don't have an age, I don't know. But it's a huge privilege, and it's so funny. They're so funny if you tune to their mentality, and they know and they teach me so many things. Because the new world, emerging new virtual, whatever you call this word, we have no clue about it. The old generation, they know a lot. So if you really listen carefully, they have to teach us a lot, these young people, this new generation.
That's one huge mistake that teachers make, that they think they can only teach the students.
No, they know so many things. Young people are incredible. They know so many things through the internet and through their conversation between them too, with the natural way, not just individual alone sitting in front of it. The internet, they know so many things. It's unbelievable, and they have to deal with people that they know nothing about it.
I experienced something similar because I was doing the internet and searching about some stuff online when I was in school, and some teachers, they were coming and saying some stupid things, and I understood that they are wrong and all this stuff, and they thought that I was stupid. So it's very interesting. How many years you think it's going to take for the students to know more than the teachers.
Maybe they already know more for the new world, for the new
Because the
paradigm.
teachers, they don't explore 24/7 the internet. That
So
is the
much, yeah.
most pure form of learning. So the most interesting, there is the most learning in the internet. And the teachers, most of them, they are like 50, 60, that they just know how to type an email.
Even younger, they don't care about it. This is a very new thing. I mean, even people that are 30 now, they don't know, they don't do this, they don't live this lifestyle of learning, constant learning. I mean, young people now, it's a generation of learning, actually. They are learning. Maybe according to the old paradigm, maybe they are learning the wrong stuff. That's what they would tell you. If you talk about this with a person from the old paradigm, they would tell you, yes, they're learning the whole day, but they're learning the wrong stuff. They don't learn what they should learn, which means the curriculum and this kind of stuff. But this is a generation of learning. They are learning like crazy. The whole day they are in front of the screen, they are learning. Even if they are learning cat videos, whatever, they are learning about cats. So good.
And like if they are playing video games, they are learning English. They are learning
conversation with other countries, with other mentalities of other people.
Yeah, they speak with multiplayer with other people. I had a cousin, and she had 4 boyfriends. She's 15. And from one from United States, and she met them through Call of Duty, playing games and that's kind of a lot of people miss out, and they think that this stuff is
so
bad.
She's learning about the culture of other civilizations. This is not learning. Come on, and he's learning our curriculum, and this is not learning. Even if they talk about dumb things, she's learning about the culture of these guys. I mean, of course, learning.
Where do you see a school in 10 years? I don't like. Do you see this surviving? What will happen? A revolution? Like people will wake up and how AI, how it will influence artificial intelligence, the school, and all this stuff. Like
okay, the classical answer with AI is that AI teacher will replace this teacher, but I think it will not happen like this, because an AI teacher operating the way this teacher works is not the future. Anyway,
what do you mean?
If you have an AI teacher who is
to replace the bad teacher and become a more efficient bad.
No, but I don't believe that anybody is bad. I mean, everything is good. I believe everything is good. Whatever happens is good. And
for evolution.
In general, as a person, I love everything. I like everything. Even the more strict teacher, that's exactly the opposite than me. They even criticize the way I'm teaching. I still love them. I like them. I understand why they're like this. And even some of them are my good friends at school. I mean, some of the teachers that I'm hanging around in school are very traditional. They are exactly the opposite. And I like them so much. I'm not against anything. Maybe I'm against everything. I don't know. But yeah, in some point it will happen a revolution. And this will start from the job market anyway. If the job market demands,
because this is kind of what controls everything.
Of course, economy.
The economy.
You know better.
So if I started don't caring about people going even in school or even in universities, then probably people after 10, 15, 20 years will adjust. And Elon Musk is saying this. Google people is saying that it's not 100%.
This is for the universities now.
For the universities,
now, for the moment.
Yeah.
So they say, we don't really trust universities because universities, and this is the conversation about this is now for higher education. But I think we'll shift to
even primary school.
even the primary, even the kindergarten. So, okay, don't take it in the 60s. But still, I will make you a question. For you, personally, as an employer, if somebody tell you, I'm a high school teacher dropout, it will not sound more interesting for you. For you, I mean, you are not the average employer now, but you would think, he's a dropout. Of course, he's not good for me. You will not think, dropout. Wait a minute, something is interesting about this guy, isn't it? This time will come eventually, and even, I mean, if
people this is a very crazy idea for people to understand. He's a dropout. Why he's interesting? I don't know. I believe that when a person comes and he went to the conventional way through a university and he was a sheep. I follow the school. I sit down and I read about stuff that I don't fucking care, and I do it for 10 years in a row. I consider him as not an innovator, as not a person that can lead and make innovation and create huge things in the
And
future.
even go against your mistakes. So if you make something wrong, he will obey.
I want people to challenge me. I want
challenge you,
people not just to follow my orders. So I will find probably employees that they went to university less qualified than the people that they did and were doing just random internships here and there, tried to do some projects. They have failed in a bunch of different things that I understand than just I went to the best university in the world.
Yeah, especially if you want to make a team like...
So you think this will kind of lead the conversation and force things to change?
Yeah, especially if you want your team to be a hunter-gatherer team, like to have no leader because this is a natural way. Then you don't need people to obey you because we shouldn't obey any leader if you want to have the healthy hunting, gathering, whatever, team, to have no centralized figure.
You always referred back to hunter-gatherers, and this time I got to understand exactly why you refer always. Because the reason is very interesting. Because of we evolved, we didn't have time to evolve, so we should get back to that
10,000 years
to understand who we are for us to develop stuff.
10,000 years is not enough, and things are worse because we are not the agricultural people anymore. We are the industrial people, even worse. We don't talk about this. But still,
why it's even worse and not better?
Because the industrial people, I mean, we are the industry. We are living in the industrial era, not in the agriculture anymore. As you know, like
100 years ago.
Couple of hundred, let's say, couple of hundred years ago, it starts a new revolution in the history. After the previous one was okay, this revolution...
What's time? I asked you again, and you said it was 4 revolutions that they started. So what time was the...
4 paradigms. Let's say, the hunter-gathering. Okay, let's say we were all hunter-gatherers. 10,000 years ago, came about the idea... Somehow, okay, we don't need to mix about the grain and the wheat now, and who made us like this is too much. Okay, don't talk about how we became like this, who fooled us to become like this.
But let's say
we became like this.
300 years ago was the...
Wait. So we were hunter-gatherers. 10,000 years before, we, for some reason, became agriculturalists. So the first revolution is the agricultural revolution. And we became from hunter-gatherers shifting to
agricultural revolution. That means that people were making wheat and they were making potatoes and they were gathering and they are making their own stuff, carrots and all the stuff, baking and making bread and all this.
Not taking things from nature directly, but
not
manipulate nature and become agriculturalists.
Yeah.
Means animal husbandry and agriculture and the growing plants. Yeah. So they stop hunting and gathering, and they completely change their economic style into, slowly, but it became a new paradigm, not to go in nature and just hunt and gather, but have the stuff in your garden or somewhere next to it, and you grow them up. This is the agricultural model. And this was the model of 99% of the humans who are living in this style until, let's say 200 years ago, when the industrial revolution started, when the economy shifted to a new style.
That they didn't want agriculture, they wanted workers for the factories.
For the factory, So 99% of the people became workers of factories.
And that's why the system, the educational system is the same like it was 200 years ago.
Yeah, the education system came about the same moment.
To develop workers in the factories.
Not only the workers, everybody in the factory, because not only the workers, even the higher rank people, they need to be this style.
Yeah, for them to obey laws and to obey everything.
Of course, school is 200 years old thing. People don't know this.
But the thing that is fascinating, why everything is fucking changing? Why the school is not changing at all?
Slowly, wait. Okay,
it's been 200 years and it's the same thing. People, a teacher comes in the class and teaches a subject. Students are sitting, they raise their hand to go and pee. But why? This is crazy. Why? Because everything around is shifting so radically. Phones, all this stuff, transportation and everything.
This is the revolution. What are you talking about? It's not the post-revolution environment. So during the revolution, you don't know what will be after the revolution. Maybe we'll be living in constant revolution from now on. I don't know.
What?
Maybe from now on we will be living in constant revolutions.
Because of the fast-growing
Because of the
world.
fast-growing, but still, let me finish the scheme that I started. So hunter-gatherers, agricultural revolution, agricultural style of living, industrial revolution, second revolution. Then you have the industrial style of living. Then you have now this digital revolution that is happening now. And then we will have another style of life if we will not have constant revolutions. So now it's supposed to be the revolution, the digital revolution. So schools are not adjusted.
It's happening now at the time that we
So
talk.
school is still living in the
And
industrial
probably
paradigm.
our podcast is contribution to the revolution.
Depends on the views.
In a very small way.
Kind of, maybe, yes.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know if we are.
Maybe in a bad way, in a good way, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So-
influence is good in any way.
What do you mean influence is good in any
It
way?
will change, stir things up anyway. It will be bad now, maybe then good after. If you stir things, they are going up and down. It's good anyway.
So Hitler was good.
He didn't make a revolution, Hitler. No, I didn't say every bad thing is good. Don't change the subject. Come on. Hitler didn't know that he is bad. I'm sure Hitler thought that he is good. Himself.
Maybe he thought.
He thought, how good I am. How good. Of course, nobody thinks that. Socrates said that nobody is deliberately bad. Everybody thinks that they are good.
Everybody thinks that they're good. So
Lex Friedman said only Stalin was good. Hitler is not sure that if he was good in one of the previous episodes. But even Lex Friedman thinks that Stalin was thinking that he is doing good. I think Hitler was thinking that he is doing good. I mean, he did tremendous bad. I mean, he's the evilest person in history we can imagine. Of course, they were much worse in the past, but we tend to forget that how bad they used to be. Anyway,
that's interesting.
I'm sure they must have been.
Yeah.
I mean, in previous times.
Yeah,
Similar.
like 5,000 years ago, when
Of course, I mean,
people like a king of a place should probably made more horrible
of course,
things,
more,
like,
even much
like
worse. I'm sure.
not burning people, maybe like putting them in suffering.
Because it's more fun.
Through
Of
suffering
course, burning,
every
burning
day.
is not fun. Maybe burning was not enough for them. Maybe they wanted to make them suffer. I mean, the Romans, they were enjoying watching people eaten by lions. Come on, don't go very far. The official Romans, I mean, Roman Empire, which is supposed to be one of the most important civilizations, they were watching people suffering, not burning them like Hitler. Burning is not so bad suffering. You suffer a little bit. Eaten by lions and having it as a wow thing. I mean, of course, but still Hitler, I'm sure he thought that he's doing good. Because Hitler looks to me like a fanatic. He didn't care about burning Jews just to burn them. Hitler was like believing in, you can see from his face, I mean, he was not enjoying anything, even burning Jews. I mean, he was believing in this weird ideology like crazy, I think, and he was trying to make the Aryan tribe be the leading tribe and killing the Jews not because it's fun to kill the Jews, because he liked nothing. I think he was sick. This guy looks sick to me. I'm watching it. I feel that he was sick.
So any influence is good and bad and can lead to things. This is what you were saying.
Of course, even the influence of Hitler in our society, we saw this sick man and we became better. Man. So, of course, it's not good that he was killing people.
But we have him, and we are very careful now as societies to not for emergent Hitlers and all this stuff, which is
of course, and because of him, maybe we are more.
Yeah, imagine
more
if maybe if he didn't come. I'm not saying Hitler is good, but if he didn't come, maybe we were going to lead
Who knows how would be the society
in a crazy world, like wars and I don't know. So
how can you define history? But maybe it would be worse. Maybe it would be better. But how you know that if he was society of today?
And this is the interesting part about life, that is only happening in one single way and you don't understand.
You can't predict, and don't go to determinist problem now again, to quantum mechanics and
What
chaos
do you mean
theory.
Determinist
Don't change this up, because I know that you like chaos and quantum mechanics. If you can't determine the future, don't change the subject, please. Forget it. So yeah,
What do you
want
mean?
to change the subject. You are talking about schools now.
What do you mean by determined future and chaos theory?
Come on, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Quantum mechanics and
I know, but how this determines the future?
we said now you cannot determine the future. So the future is indeterminable unless you consider it in the spectrum of quantum mechanics and chaos and quantum mechanics, that the fact that you will measure the electron change the behavior. So it's some kind of new from before that you will measure it. So it's like the electron knows the future.
This is too deep stuff that people...
Yeah, okay, forget about it. Quantum mechanics. And because I'm a physicist, I like this, so don't do that.
No, I want to explain, so quantum mechanics is one of the biggest mysteries in the world right now.
It's weird. The biggest mystery is consciousness, come on.
Okay.
You know my love. Yeah.
So quantum mechanics, when you measure it, is like, it's. Can you explain quantum mechanics? Because you are the good.
Nobody can explain quantum mechanics.
Just explain the phenomenon.
Yes, of course I can, but don't change the subject.
No, I want to understand about this.
You can't understand quantum mechanics. That's the key. Richard Feynman said, if you understand quantum mechanics, means you don't understand it. No. What I'm talking about, this detail of quantum mechanics.
Okay, I will not go deep into this subject.
No,
just say about the determinism.
Okay, this double slit. I have to talk about this quantum entanglement and the measurement problem. And okay, if you throw an electron through two holes, okay, the electron can either pass from one or the other, which is a classical thing that we expect it to do, or it can do something else, maybe pass from both, maybe pass from none of them, something weird, and then you will understand that this happened. I don't want to go deep inside it because I have to explain. So the electron have two choices: either to pass from one of the two holes. You throw the electron in front of two holes. It can pass either from the one or the other hole, which is the classical thing, and it can do another thing, weird thing, passing from both in the same time, or passing from none, or do something completely else, and we can measure it. We can detect it. We can clearly see it. So if we try to measure it, the electron is doing the classical thing. It passes from one. Whenever you try to see where the electron passes, it knows that you will measure it, and it's doing the right thing.
And this was a very revolutionized thing for me that I understood it 2 years ago.
For humanity.
Because it's shifting everything that we know. When a person, for example, when I see this pen, maybe I bring it to reality because I saw it. Because I measure.
Perception is measurement.
When I don't see it, maybe the pen is like flying, doing whatever, other things that I don't imagine. But because I measure, and this is kind of the thing with quantum mechanics.
Let's move to Donald Hoffman, my favorite now. It's going my absolutely hero.
No, we have to go back to the school.
Because you're approaching Hoffman, I'm sure. Anyway,
So yeah, this and also I was talking with one person about this. I'm not sure. This is just he was trying to explain me how.
Guys, don't forget we're talking about schools now. Huh? Okay, yeah.
He was talking me how quantum mechanics they are used in computers, and he said that maybe it's wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
No, this is the most spectacular thing about quantum mechanics, that is used.
Yeah,
it's weird, but it's used.
And why it's used in computers is because it can waste so much energy for computational power when to just the computer be running by itself to do stuff. But when it is used quantum mechanics, this is what he said.
Mechanically,
he's only using efficient energy when you look at it, kind of.
Yeah. The other is free.
And that's kind of very energy efficient.
Yeah.
So this is the way that...
Because this quantum... I don't know so much about quantum computation so much. My other best friend is supposed to know because he's special. So if he watches this, he will laugh about me. he will watch it. Okay, my second best friend, or my equally best friend, is specialist in quantum computing. He's a professor of physics, specializing. I mean, his field is quantum computation, and he's explaining me, but I don't understand so much about it. But anyway, I think this is what we're talking now is more the quantum computation thing. That quantum computation will revolutionize. But don't ask me about it because my friend will laugh about me. So. Anyway, Yannis Pachos is his name, and he's professor in Leeds University. Anyway.
You got the shout out.
Anyway, but yeah, one of the two, but still it has more use. In any kind of electronics, we're using quantum mechanics. We are using it and we don't understand it. This is what you say, it's a revolution. The quantum
Because
computation-
we're using something, we don't understand how it works.
Yeah. We're using it. We know very well how to use it, but we have no idea.
And
what
maybe the
heck-
same thing with
what the heck it's
consciousness.
talking about. Our consciousness
Because we are using it, we know it very well how to use it, but we don't have
scientifically, we have no clue.
no clue
Scientifically.
what is going on.
But maybe this is not the answer. Yeah. This is Goff now.
Philip,
Philip Goff now. Yeah.
more on that topic with my next guest.
Yeah. Another hero of ours, after Hoffman, of course.
Donald Hoffman.
Man, I'm so excited about this Donald Hoffman thing you will have after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Can we reveal it in front of the camera?
Yeah, I started this podcast will be interviewing intellectual guests and one person that we're looking up to him, both of us.
Best, man.
That he kind of he's the case against reality. This is his book, and he's
This is
talking
his case.
about everything that we see is fake, and it's just a Anyway, we are
Yeah,
good.
you-
More.
Don't. This is spoiler, man. Come on.
Okay.
But,
So-
but anyway, I'm now having this in front of me that you will have the chance to talk to Hoffman. I understood his theory so much better because I'm thinking of questions to tell you. I have millions of questions to tell you to ask Hoffman. Don't think any question for yourself, please. but look, I understood it much deeper, even I think better than him. Sorry, I shouldn't say, but because I have this constraint now, because after 2 weeks you will have to ask me, and I have to tell you some questions. Now I'm thinking constantly about Donald Hoffman, 24 hours. And I understood much. Man, it's so deep.
When you face a problem, you get to understand it so deeply.
Yeah, but now I understand.
And because it's like actionable thing, your brain thinks that something is going. I will have whatever a benefit from this, or it's like working so much better.
Yeah.
And
you know, after
and for me too, when I was thinking about questions for me to ask you about the tweet, I got to understand a lot of new different things about I was there. Before,
I understand.
which is very interesting. The best job is to think questions for the podcast.
Yeah, not the answer. Of course, of course, questions are more important than answers. Of course, I like more philosophy than physics, as you know. So anyway, but man, this Donald Hoffman stuff is so deep. I always thought it's deep, but now after thinking about this, man, it's going to be the new revolution. I'm sure.
Anyway,
okay.
more on that on the interview with him.
No,
Hopefully we make it and he doesn't
Let
cancel.
me make a last statement. I can't wait. I mean, after Copernican revolution, this will be
The Hoffman
I
revolution.
think, man, maybe he's not having the answer, but I think he will start the new revolution. I hope. This is the consciousness thing that this Philip Goff talking about, that Galileo.
Yeah, everyone talks about it's the hard problem of consciousness.
but
nobody can understand it. Nobody can touch it through physics, through maths, and all this
The
stuff.
hard problem of consciousness is not a revolution itself, because the hard problem of consciousness, most of the people who are trying to solve it, they try to solve it in the context of this physical world. And Hoffman.
And now we're getting very deep.
No, you will get it with Hoffman. Don't destroy me. But he thinks that, I mean, this perspective that, like we were getting it wrong until Copernicus removed the center from the sun, from the earth to the sun, and imagine astronomy having the center to the earth. What a weird trajectories.
People thought that the center is the earth of the world.
Until Copernicus, some people thought it, some ancient Greeks thought it before, actually, that the center might be the sun, but they got forgotten. We refer to it as the Copernican revolution. So Copernicus was supposed to be the first who thought that we should remove the center. It's as simple as that. Copernicus just said, remove the center from the earth and put it to the sun. And then all these weird things we see around us, all these weird trajectories of the planets. I mean, if you see the planets on the sky and try to study try to study the heavens, let's say. Try to study astronomy.
Not the heavens, the stars.
The heaven is the sky.
Ah, okay.
Dumb. Heavens is not the heaven and hell. This heavens means the sky. So if you try to observe and understand the night sky from the perspective of the Earth, I mean pre-Copernicus, you see, you watch in the sky and you see many lights. And then you see two big lights, the moon and the sun. So the sky is kind of weird. Have many small lights, some of them very small, some very big. Some of them even make a cluster called the galaxy. Gala means milk, Milky Way. Looks like milk, strange thing like a cloud. And then you have two big objects, the sun, a huge one. Whenever it comes, the others disappear, so huge. And then you have the moon. And then you have 4 lights, 5, that moves strangely, because the others just move from east to west, all together, around one axis called the Polaris, one star that never moves. So you see them move and then you think, the heaven, whatever it is, this thing above us, it moves. And all of them goes together, and the sun together with them, and the stars, all of them move. But some of them, the second biggest, the moon, and 4 or 5 others, they don't stay in this position, they move all together with the others, they're just doing weird things on the sky, going up, in front, and back, and reverse trajectories, and they were trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Okay, the big one, the moon, you can't predict it. It's more straightforward. It just moves backwards. So every day you see it just a bit backwards, towards the east. I guess. Yeah, anyway, yeah. So if you see the moon like in this position, next evening you will see it here, next evening you will see it
now
here.
you are trying to explain why this theory of Hoffman is so revolutionized.
Yeah, let me finish what is the Copernican revolution. So if you have the point of view from the Earth, you see a weird sky. With these 5, 6, if you put the moon, I mean 6 are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are the funny lights. The ancient Greeks called them planets, which means the wanderers. Planieme in Greek means I wander. So planet means I'm wandering about. They don't stay in fixed position, but they're doing weird stuff. I mean, Venus just go up and down in east and west, up and down east and west. You never saw Venus on the top of the sky for a strange reason. Who knows why? And then you see, Saturn and Mars and Jupiter moving up and down, doing strange trajectories. The moon is more predictable, but why? And then why the sky is like this? And then you need just to move the center to the sun. Let's say we are not the center; they are not evolving around us; they are revolving around the sun, and this makes things so clear. It's just simple. All of them are going around the sun, and just the moon around the earth, and so this makes things from weird to
and so much simpler
clear.
For science and for everyone to do science, to understand the nature of the universe, to understand everything.
So I believe that now science is doing what the geocentrics were doing. Like watching things from the point of view of the earth is something weird. It reveals you weird skies. So if you are watching things now, what we're doing is we're watching things from the perspective of the physical world. So we put in the center of our understanding the physical world. And Hoffman is trying to say, I don't know, but as I understand it, he's trying to say, no guys, the earth is not the center. You have to move it somewhere else. And then all this weirdness, quantum weirdness, chaos theory, general relativity that is not compatible with the quantum mechanics, the big stuff in the universe.
Space and time.
The big stuff in the universe, space-time and this curved space-time, weird things are not compatible with the small stuff, with quantum mechanics. And all these weird things that we don't understand the universe and black matter and all this, maybe will be much clearer if we move the center from the physical world to somewhere else. And now he's trying to figure out what is this conscious realism he's talking about. But I think the biggest contribution will not be so much what he's trying to figure out now this conscious realism and conscious agents and mathematics. He's trying to mathematicize this new paradigm, and he himself said that, of course, this is not a new paradigm, but I think his contribution is a revolution.
To start the conversation.
Yeah, of course, it's like Copernicus. Copernicus didn't make all this wonderful astronomy we had. After him came Galileo and Kepler and found out that it's not circles, but it's ellipses and all these things wonderful things we discover about astronomy. It came after just a revolution. So Copernicus.
And this is a crazy idea.
Of course.
It's a very crazy idea. And you have to be very crazy to believe it. But
I don't believe
flat Earth was a crazy idea back then. Now it's
flat Earth was the good one.
Yeah.
Was the paradigm.
Yeah, and now everyone thinks that flat Earth is stupid. So
flat Earth, and that it is a center, because it's not only is round, but it's just a small round thing around bigger and bigger and bigger things. And finally, we found that there's no center. So I think if we move, okay, it's like turtles all the way, it's like this kind of thing.
I still kind of understand the saying turtles all the way down. So
because you are a Lex Friedman follower, that's why you start understanding, because he's using it so much. Okay, turtles all the way means that you move the center from the Earth to the Sun, and then from the Sun to the center of the galaxy, and the the galaxy, who knows where, and turtles all the way.
And we
will going to endless move and move.
But the same with one theory that is more functioning than the other and gives us better results. You have to move turtles down to find better answers and more accurate answers.
I mean.
But it got us to the moon. Some theories that we have, what theories got us to the moon?
Let aside the practical implications. I don't talk about practical implications. I don't care so much. I'm more to the theory. Okay, of course we can also have practical implications with this, what Donald Hoffman is saying.
But it's more about...
I don't care personally about practical implications.
But it's more about finding the truth.
About finding
getting closer to the truth.
Closer to the truth.
And this is what the meaning of life of Elon Musk is one of the curiosity one, and this is trying to ask better questions to get closer to the...
But the difference with Elon Musk, he's doing it. I mean, he's trying to go to Mars, not just. I mean, he's really trying to apply it. This is what's fascinating about this guy. He's not just wondering. He's wondering. He's going to go there and see how people can live here. Okay, but his dream is for humanity too. I don't care so much about. I'm very theoretical about. Elon Musk is practical. So Elon Musk is caring about the practical implications for humanity. So okay. There are two good things that come out from Hoffman's theory. The one is the philosophical one, getting closer to truth, quote unquote. I don't believe this stuff anyway, closer and closer. But still, understanding better, more fascinating way the world, the universe. But the other one is practical implications, because Hoffman himself believed that, like in the time of Faraday and Maxwell, when they were like, people thought that Newton physics is the end. We found everything, and Newtonian physics describe everything, and that's the end of physics. We found everything. Just small things to understand what is light and what is color and what is this funny thing we call electricity. But it's a detail anyway. We'll figure it out. And there were some guys like Faraday and etc. that they thought, wait a minute, this is interesting. Maybe it's a detail in our life. Electricity. What is electricity? In that time, electricity was just thunders and they could observe it maybe in the legs of the frogs, and so they figure out that this stuff is interesting. Let's find out, and now we know what is electricity. So Hoffman believed that the engineering part of his theory, his theories is it can be like what Faraday and Maxwell was doing back in that time. That if you would ask Faraday in those times, we speak about the middle of the 19th century now. When electricity...
Faraday is the one that did the thing that one thinks popping from here.
The first experiment that you can have action in a distance in electricity. But if you would ask them back in that time, guys, you think that this thing, okay, you're studying them, it's interesting to know. Do you think that this would have any implication?
And will revolutionize the whole world
The
with
whole world,
electricity, and everything will come because of that. And the internet and all the revolution, the AI and everything.
Just press a button, you have light in your house. They would probably say, I don't know, come on, I don't think that will have so much big impact. But it's interesting to know what the heck is this we call electricity. And look what we have now. So it's possible that with Hoffman and another revolution, but let's say Hoffman's revolution, if you can call it like this. I don't know if I have the right to call it like this, but anyway, we can also have practical implications like electricity. So apart from the philosophical ones that we understand better the world, we can have practical, because if the physical world is not the reality, and the reality is, okay, people don't understand now what is Hoffman's theories, but anyway, okay, if this physical world is not the reality, and the reality is something else, this is roughly the revolution that he's suggesting.
Yeah, but we have to talk about that for people to understand.
Yes, but we can talk about everything. And this upcoming episode, I mean, you will have Hoffman after a while himself explaining way much better than I can. So anyway, the revolution is that this physical world is what we see around us, is what we experience with our five senses, and everything, the universe, the Big Bang.
That I touch, that I do, my senses.
The universe is expanding, that everything. This is not the reality, and the reality is something else. And this is just a fiction. Okay, he could prove it, and this is his brilliance, that he could even prove that this is not the real world. This physical world is not reality.
Because it's impossible to see reality as it is.
And he proved it as a theory.
Because we were not going to be functionable human beings if we saw the reality. And there is one test that he did, that he put one person to fight with another person.
Okay, this is the evolutionary game theory.
Let's say we're in Minecraft and one person is going to fight the other person, and one person sees the reality as it is.
Which means the computer.
Would see the cables of the computer, the mouse, everything, and you tell him
what's going on in the computer.
And you tell him to fight the other person in Minecraft, that he just have the controller and he can fight you with his sword. So you are trying to connect all the cables, and you see the real thing. You see reality, and the other person just see the fake reality, the user interface. And if you put these two people to fight, the one that see the fake things will win for sure. So that's how he proved, kind of.
Yeah, that's how he.
What we see is not real.
Yeah, because what we see is the interface.
Yeah, we see the user interface in the Minecraft. We see just the Minecraft world.
He calls it interface theory of perception.
But he speaks difficult. That is.
No, about these things, about the revolution. He can make it very simple, I think. It starts to be difficult when he talk about all these physical phenomena and these polytopes and hadrons or whatever he called them. Even my physicists, I don't understand. Then
quadrohedra.
Whatever. Anyway.
But I read his book and I understood half of it.
Okay.
That's good enough.
I think
that's
what he's trying to do is two things. The revolution, which he can explain very simply and everybody can understand it. And then what he's trying to propose, that he will replace the physical world, which is this.
Guys, you see that we are very excited. We are his number one fans for sure in the world.
Because our prophet, I mean.
And we are so excited every time that we
talk. It's like John the Baptist, not Jesus, but it's John the Baptist.
And
you know why I call him like John the Baptist? Because he's talking about the new revolution.
I will send him this thing for him to see. It will be so funny.
Come on, I'm so shy if you. Anyway, I can talk for hours about this guy. Anyway, okay, so he can explain easily the revolution. Like John the Baptist says, Jesus will come. He's like John the Baptist now. He's talking like alone in the desert, like John the Baptist was like. It was his name in the Bible, like alone in the wilderness. Φωνή όντως εν διερήμου in Greek. I mean, he's like John the Baptist who's talking. Of course, not many people taking seriously. I mean, the mainstream scientists don't take this
so
Hoffman.
Of
course.
Because it's very radical, it's very crazy. You have to be a so fucking crazy person to
but
believe.
this is what means revolution. I mean, it's crazy to think that the sun is the center. Come on. The earth is way bigger. The sun is just a fact.
And I'm very surprised that very few people, I don't know, probably now that he's very active on social media, he's going to all these
after Lex episode.
After Lex Friedman episode that he got 2 million views, probably he starts the conversation because like us, probably there is many people in the world.
Yeah, but to abolish the space-time and the physical world, I mean, the whole science, our beloved science, everything happens in the physical world and space-time. If you tell to traditional scientists, abolish it, of course they don't want to abolish. They love it. I mean,
Yeah, and there is the thing that because you spend your whole life making stuff about science, and now everyone comes and say, "Oh, whatever you were doing is fucking wrong. The sun is in the other side." And like they have no motivation to believe their life will change if they believe on that. This is interesting.
Yeah, but it's not a waste of time because look, the people
it's not waste of time, but for them it will feel like a waste of time.
Yeah, but look, for Copernicus to reach his revolution, other people studied the planets.
And this is what superorganism means.
Of course, yeah.
Because one person came with one theory, you heard it somewhere, you talk with him. And all this stuff.
And going back to school like this if you want. but still, that's what's humanity. Of course, Copernicus was not alone. Copernicus was using all the stuff that the others were observing in the sky, and he figured it out. If others were not observing this weird thing, they would believe that.
So if scientists, this Hoffman will come with this crazy theory.
So if the astronomers until Copernicus were observing these weird things on the sky, but they were studying them. They were watching Jupiter going back and forth, and why? But they were studying it. They established rigorous science behind it. And then Copernicus saw it through their observation. So Hoffman is now understanding the physical world and its weirdness.
Because of all of them.
So
they contributed. Guys, don't feel bad if you are a scientist.
Yeah,
you contributed something.
Yeah, if your paradigm is going to be thrown away in the garbage, don't feel bad about it. Anyway, so the stuff you don't understand when Hoffman is talking, when he's talking about the revolution, is understandable. When he's talking about what will replace the new paradigm, he's proposing something, but himself he said this will be not the new paradigm.
What he's proposing?
He said himself these conscious agents and the mathematicize, and he's talking about and this.
And we're portals to.
And he's trying to say I'm trying to find theories that explain the scatter amplitudes and the. So he's trying to replace the. Look,
you probably spent a lot of months thinking about this.
No, since you told me about the podcast, I'm thinking about it so much. But he himself, he said, I'm going to propose a new paradigm. So I will remove the center from the physical world. I'm sure that the center is not the physical world. The center of our understanding should be something else. And he says, let's propose for fun a new one. And he's humble enough, that's why he's incredible. He's humble enough to say, look, what I'm proposing now for sure will be laughed at sometime. I'm just trying to propose a mathematic-sized rigorous theory that the others will come to abolish.
Not he's humble enough, he's self-aware enough.
He's self-aware, yeah, that's what it means to be humble. If you are self-aware, you understand who you are.
Is humbleness that...
You understand that what you're saying is wrong. Means be self-aware.
And everyone is wrong. The question how wrong they are.
Wrong. Everything is wrong. It's not bad to be wrong. I mean, of course, everything is wrong in some other perspective. I mean, what means right and wrong? But still, he said that, okay, I propose a revolution. The revolution is clear. The revolution is proven by mathematics. Nobody can go against him because he proved that in the context of the physical world, what we see is not this. Because the physical world is not reality. Reality is something else. He's trying now to propose a theory just to have a theory for the next generation.
Just to have something tangible.
To have something tangible to replace. To have something tangible to abolish. You understand? To reject. So he knows I'm working on something that is going to be rejectable, but I need to give something to make you understand what the heck I'm talking about roughly. So The same if you make parallel with Copernicus, of course, moving the center to the sun is not the end of the story. The sun is not the center of the universe. Come on. So Copernicus made the revolution, and Hoffman is doing the revolution. This is a contribution. So Copernicus say, guys, the center is not the Earth. This is important. He removed it to the center. I don't know if he was aware, like Hoffman is aware, that the center is not my theory, this conscious realism, how he called it. I don't know if Copernicus was brilliant enough,
self-aware
enough to say, guys,
my theory is bad, and people will come and find better, but this is kind of better than what we have now.
But look, after Copernicus, things accelerated, because if you remove from the first center,
because you can do real physics, you can understand better, you get a lot more information that is more accurate, and we can do more efficient maths, more efficient and whatever.
Okay, it revolutionized astronomy, let's say. Don't go further than astronomy, but if you remove the center from the Earth to the sun, you revolutionize astronomy. If you remove the center from the...
And physics.
And physics in general after, but directly astronomy. Directly. No question about it. You remove the center to the sun and you revolutionize astronomy. Then it makes sense what you see in the sky. It makes sense the Jupiter up and down. It makes sense why Venus can never be seen on the top of the sky, on the zenith, and you can only see it during sunset and sunrise. It makes things so clear. Just remove the center. So the revolution of Copernicus is removing the center from the Earth to the sun, but it's not the end of the story. Of course, we all know now that the center of the universe, the center of everything, the center of the physical world, let's call it, is not the sun. But look how quickly things accelerated up. You remove the people for centuries and centuries and centuries believe that the center is the Earth. Once you remove it to the sun, then quickly you remove it to the center of the galaxy.
Yeah.
And then quickly you remove it to nowhere, and then you understand.
Because what you said, you quickly remove it from the sun to the second, because you understood. Maybe you understand. Maybe there is more there, because I was thinking that the center of the universe is the Earth. So now the revolution becomes much smoother, and you're going to find kind of the truth a lot easier after.
So, for the history of the thing, Copernicus removed the center from the Earth to the sun like 500 years ago, roughly, a bit more. Anyway, the next center is the galaxy, the center of the galaxy. So we needed like
now Hoffman, after you finish all the time code, Hoffman will remove the center from all the other
all the other centers.
All the other centers
even
that you're
going... center of general relativity.
The space-time and all this stuff that they're expanding and will bring the center to our consciousness and to what we have inside.
Yeah, but he admits that I know that this is not reality, but what the heck is reality? I don't know. He's always saying it. But I know that I can prove that this is not reality. But I wanted to say something else. Once you remove the center from Earth to the sun, the next removal happened like 500 years ago, around the beginning of the century. So Copernicus removed it from the Earth to the sun. Then astronomers remove it from the sun to the galaxy very quickly, from the sun to the galaxy. It happened like in 400 or 500 years, like in the beginning of 20th century. We understood that the sun is not the center. There is the galaxy.
So 100 years after him?
No, after Copernicus, 400 years, like in the beginning of 19th century. I can't count now anyway. Copernicus was like 14...
So 400 years, which is very small in the time.
400 or 500 years, scientists came about that the sun is not the center, it's the center of the galaxy. And very, very quickly, like 2-3 years after this, it's called the big debate, some debate between some scientists, I forgot about it. After you removed it from the sun to the center of the galaxy, so quickly, after 2-3 years, I understood that the center of the galaxy is not the center. The galaxy is just one galaxy among trillions and trillions of galaxies. This was very fast, just a couple of years. And then after how many years? After you remove it to somewhere else, you don't know where, then Einstein came, the general relativity. After we understood the Big Bang, we understood that there's no center at all in the universe. Don't look in space-time. You will not find any center in space-time. in space anyway. So once you remove it once you make the first step, and the first step now, okay, you can say it's a continuation. Hoffman is continuing with Copernicus revolution. So here we say that there's no center, is the today's paradigm, the general relativity paradigm, that we have no center in space. Don't look for the center, you cannot find, guys, nowhere. Not the center of the galaxy, nowhere.
Because the thing is expanding.
But we believe that the physical world is the center, is what we have to. We don't say that physical world is the center.
The physical is
the physical is, which is a paradigm. Now we are living in the time of the physicalist science. All science are physicalists, most of them. Anyway.
Richard Dawkins and all this.
Let's talk about physicists. The physicists, like even Penrose you mentioned before, he's trying to investigate consciousness, but through the realm of physicalism. They believe that this is a physicalist philosophy, that they believe that everything can be explained through the physical world, which means reality is the physical world. Even consciousness are trying to explain. Let me finish. So the way you present it, I never thought about it like this. You present it like this, and it's very clever enough. So you say that after Copernicus, we put it in the sun, then we put it in the center of the galaxy, then we put it nowhere or somewhere in the universe, but who knows where, then nowhere after Einstein. And then you say that Hoffman revolution is just the next step. We even remove it from the physical world. So the way you see it is even better than the way I saw it, because I was doing parallelism, but it's not parallelism, it's just the same thing. So the way you see it is very good. You taught me something now, so you are my teacher. It's just a continuation. You understood?
Yeah,
this is what you said.
I understood.
Sometimes he says things that you don't understand. I understood the value better than him. So anyway, so better to see it like this. The next revolution will be not just that the center is nowhere, that even nowhere, everything, that reality is not the center. I mean, we should remove it somewhere completely else, outside the reality, outside space-time itself.
Okay, I understood. Now I have a stupid question. I got to a realization that I'm not good in explaining things. After some conversations that we had, you knew this, but I didn't know that. But
I didn't want to say it to her, but I always knew that. but this is why you are good in understanding things.
Anyways, how do I become better in explaining things? Because you are very good, because you give very simple explanations, very whatever passion.
Serve the education system, and like I served it, and you have to explain things. So they demand from us to explain things all the time. So
how do I become better, and how teachers can?
First of all, I don't know if I'm good in explaining, because I don't know how I explain things. I never watch myself. Maybe after this episode, I will watch myself and I realize that I'm good in explaining. But I don't know if I'm good in explaining. But I can see that some people are good in explaining. Some people have trouble. Even brilliant people have trouble in explaining things. I mean, for me, when I always tell you it's a good speaker and watch this podcast, one of the million times I tell you watch this podcast or watch this thing in the internet, in YouTube, the criterion is that they are good in explaining things. Some people are bad in explaining things, but they are much more brilliant, and the things that they say maybe much more interesting, but it's kind of charisma. I don't know what the heck is this, and you definitely don't have it. But look, maybe this enables you, because you are not good in explaining, but you are very good in understanding, and you are very good in not understanding sometimes. So maybe it's correlated. The fact that you cannot explain things.
Can you just tell me how to become a better teacher? And
no, because I don't like good teachers.
But it's good to be able to pass your point in an easy way for people to understand you. It makes things so much.
This is not teaching. This is conversation. Come on. To explain things to somebody else is not teaching.
Okay, fact teaching. Don't get offended.
I don't, because it's my work. I like it. And I don't want to be fired because I'm so revolutionized. Because if the Minister of Education listened to it, of course he's clever enough to understand me. I'm sure he believes I mean, many people in education understand what I'm talking about, but it's so difficult because even if you understand society is so conservative, even if you start talking about things that you understand, society will go against them. And if you're a politician and you want to say revolution, that's what's the problem with democracy at the end of the day. Because if you're a politician, you believe that something is right, even if they believe that we have to revolutionize school, if they say it, the society will come against and they will not vote for them. So it's not so their position is much more difficult. I'm in a very easy position to say, I'm a revolutionist, I'm a hippie, I want to make a revolution, but to be in that position is
so
more
it's
difficult.
very difficult to change the educational system currently with the current situation of politics that we have and how the world
democracy
works.
in general have these kind of problems. It's not flexible enough because you have to make the whole society appreciate what you are talking about. The revolutions in general are not appreciable. People are conservative in general. So that's a minus of the democracy as a system. What can we say? Democracy is not the perfect system. It's good, but of course, the better maybe we can apply. Maybe. Stress maybe. You want me to become a revolutionist in front of the camera, but I will not. Anyway, so we're talking about Hoffman, and you changed the best subject to the not worse, but I forgot what.
So I'm curious to see. So you see all these teachers teaching. A lot of times they say bad things about the way that you teach. Like the principal is not very happy with you. The other teachers they think that you are
problems. I understand it perfectly.
How do you deal? So
I think that
I will try to explain because I was your student. I will try to explain how you teach. You don't force anybody to listen to you. You let them do their thing, and if you're trying to become as interesting as you can to draw their attention in the class, and you don't force. They can play with their phones. They can. Okay, we didn't say that.
I'm not supposed to allow students to play with their phone.
But so you.
No, but I let them search. I can't say this for answers. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you let them search for answers.
I think everybody should do this. I declare that everybody should let students search for answers for the lessons online, of course, and they will find it much more faster than you will anyway.
And it's going to be in.
I admit this. I let them open and search in the internet, but they have to find first the code of the school. I'm supposed not to know it, and I don't know it because I don't have a smartphone, so I don't reveal the code. They're supposed to.
How do you deal with all these people, like your teachers, the friend's teacher and the principal, that they say bad things about how they think that you are kind of not in a way stupid and not.
No, they don't think I'm stupid. I mean, maybe some of them think, but
no, you don't do.
They think maybe they will think that I'm not stupid, but strong enough. This is a key words, strong, like mighty, like imposing enough to impose my authority to the classroom and make them shut up and make them shut up. Of course, against my ideology, as I say, if you impose as a leading figure, then learning is not happening the way it naturally can happen. If you try to impose, okay, maybe some of them think that I don't have the capability, so I'm incapable of imposing, which maybe I am actually, because I don't like to impose, but I don't even try. Maybe I could, I'm strong, man. I could impose, I'm not such an alpha male anyway, I wouldn't be able to do it anyway. But still, yeah, maybe the criticism is not that I'm stupid. Everybody can say I'm not stupid. Nobody's stupid. But anyway, they could see that even in the traditional sense. I have conversation with them all the time. They like to hear me. But they maybe think I'm not strong enough to impose myself. So I'm lacking this kind of skills, imposing skills. And there is a terminology.
But there is troubles or maybe there are not troubles that a teacher can get.
I create a lot of troubles in the school, and I'm aware, and I feel very sorry about it because I'm not this kind of teacher. But okay, some others are incapable teachers like me. The difference is I don't care to be. I don't believe that is the right thing. Many of my incapable college colleagues, incapable, co-incapable teachers like me, have troubles and they have anxiety, high anxiety, that they cannot impose themselves. The difference with me is that I don't care because I think, or maybe I developed this theory because I'm not capable of doing it. Who knows? So I made it a theory to feel better about my incapabilities, but still I don't feel anxious about it myself. Many of the incapable teachers, my peers, they feel very anxious that they are not good teachers. And some of them are very good intellectuals, they're very good communicators, but the way education is conducted, they demand for you to be strong.
What is the criteria? What is some good qualities that a teacher should have?
For this paradigm, to be strong. Clearly.
For the right one, from the not the one that it will be more helpful for the kids.
This paradigm,
because the goal should be about the helpfulness of the kids, like for the kids to learn, to navigate the world, to get whatever.
If this is a goal of school, you were
the goal should be this.
Yeah, but you were talking about the Industrial Revolution before, so I'm not sure if this is the goal of the industrial world, having developed schooling.
Now, clearly, the goal is to succeed in universities, to succeed in marks.
For the individual, but collectively, why we have schools? You just mentioned that the school is an invention of the industrial world. So the school is 200 years old as an idea. You said before, and you explain. What do you understand about this? So school is there. School is made by the industrial establishment to do what? You think?
To make workers.
To make workers.
For the industrial world.
So the worker must be knowledgeable. Why?
No, they have to obey laws.
Obedient. So if school is made by the industrial establishment, why you expect school create knowledgeable people?
That will be against the wants of the
against necessarily. Maybe it's again knowledgeable and
knowledgeable. Knowledgeable and obedient doesn't go together.
Maybe, but I don't want to blame school so much that they want to dumb us down. I don't believe that schooling is trying to make dumb people.
I believe it. I believe
okay, this is going into the realm of conspiracy, and I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I believe in evolution, by natural selection, against conspiracies,
but
I think evolved by itself doesn't need a conspiracy.
Not conspiracy, but like evolution, it evolved. Like memes on the internet, they evolve and they go viral and they take over and they become big.
We're talking about the theory of evolution. We shift subjects so much. I don't know if this is good for a podcast to shift subjects so much.
I don't know. It's our first one. We'll see back in the future.
So let's talk about the theory of evolution.
No, so
no, I like it so much.
School is a cancer. It's like evolutionary. It evolved to damage, like cancer you have in your body that is going to do harm and will harm your body. Okay, it becomes individual.
I'll be fired after this. Anyway, it's okay. Say it. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's like cancer.
Let's call it side effect, not cancer. Let's call it like.
It's damaging. It's not damaging the students, but it's probably causing harm.
You can have organisms that they are not cancerous to the society, to the environment they live, but they can be useless, let's say. This, how you call them?
But useless is...
The funny thing is that we're not used to talking English. We're always talking in Greek, even in Cyprus dialects. Very strong dialect, so it's difficult for me to talk to you and think in English. It's very difficult. So maybe they're not cancer. Maybe they're just useless. Maybe they're just.
But if something is useless,
I found the word parasite. So you have organisms that they are not cancerous to the environment they live, but they are parasites. A parasite is less harmful than a cancer. A parasite is not harmful at all.
How do we know it's not cancer and it's a parasite? How do we know it's a cancer? How you can measure?
The parasite is successful, cancer is not success because cancer is killing itself at the end. So cancer is not good in general. Cancer is bad even for itself. So if you have a cancerous individual in a team,
cool will kill it. School will kill itself after, and it will be.
Wait. If you describe school as a cancer, means it's a cancerous cell in the body of the society. So a cancer school will kill the society. So if you call school cancer, it means that will destroy the society, the whole. If you want to say this, then yes. If you want to say this, then you can call the school cancer. If you are radical, you can because you are not an employee of the system. I cannot. So if you want to say that schooling will destroy the whole superorganism, the whole society, then it's cancer. But if you want to go a step...
Is it going to destroy...
Wait a minute. I just define definitions now. You can just be more kind, more soft, and go a step before and say, it's not cancer, it's parasite. So it's just... The school is there, it's not helping society at all, it's wasting energy, a lot of energy for nothing. Maybe it's doing a little harm, but not a lot. Then this is a parasite. So you want it to be a parasite or you want it to be a cancer? Of course, you are extreme.
No, I'm not sure, but I'm seeing the side of you can judge by outcomes. Like if it's, is it cancerous to the society? Is it trying? I believe it's trying to get the society.
Being a parasite means you give nothing, you just absorb. You don't contribute to the organism, to the superorganism of society.
I understand.
This is a parasite. I mean, this is what is a parasite.
Okay.
So it's a very...
And maybe it's not capable of killing the whole...
It's so bad, it's not even capable
it's
of
not,
destroying.
It's not capable of destroying. So maybe it is a parasite.
So the education system is so bad that it's not even capable of destroying society. You hate it so much. And now I'm losing my job, guys.
What do you think about universities? I had a conversation the other day with my cousin that he went to Harvard and he was trying to defend like so bad his position about not Harvard, Cambridge.
Cambridge, yeah.
Yeah.
I know the guy, yeah.
Yeah, and he was trying to defend his position so bad about why university is helpful. And I told him, look, I don't think university is necessary for people. And maybe you can see university as a way to go and party and give yourself an excuse for some years to not do anything and for people to pay and for you to get a debt and to get around some people that they have same interest like you and find some teachers that they are
inspiring.
But you can find all of this stuff in fucking everywhere.
Not paying so much money.
And not paying so much money. And with the capability of internet, you can buy a course and be surrounded with other YouTubers, with other scientists and all this stuff. So, a question, because all this stuff that it led to the interview, we're trying to answer my discussion, we're trying to answer one question. Can a person now become a doctor without going to university?
A doctor of
doing surgeries and stuff.
A doctor, I mean, you mean a very practical.
Yeah.
Not a philosopher. A philosopher, yes, you mean, but a practical engineer.
Yeah, if someone can become a doctor in this world and being as good as the other doctor, then we don't need university.
So for theoretical things, you're 100% sure that you can. You can be a very good physicist. You can be a very good theoretical philosopher. For this, you are convinced.
Of course.
Very good YouTuber, of course.
Yeah.
Without university of YouTubing.
Yeah. We can elaborate on that why I'm convinced, but
it's very good. Your point is so the criterion to prove it is exactly doctors, because doctor is the most difficult thing to become alone.
Yeah,
and it's very difficult question which I'm not sure if I can answer, because you see you can find very good questions. Maybe you cannot explain things, but the thing that you can wonder about things is much more valuable. So you found the right question now. If you want to examine...
Maybe the right question.
This is the right question. If you want to examine whether people can learn alone, don't think that they can become philosophers. Of course they can become philosophers, but doctors... So doctor is a critical point. Not even engineer. You can become a mechanical engineer alone, maybe, but doctor is extreme. So imagine a person like a school dropout that he's, I'm rephrasing what you are saying, that is very much into, for some reason, like very much to help people and help people not to become sick, and looking in the internet and looking and become a surgeon, like making surgeries. So this is your question. Not a theoretical doctor, if there is such a thing, and to know very, very well the body
because there were probably all of us agree that you can read a lot of things online, you can do courses,
Yes,
you can
but
find
still-
friends,
but
and
still-
on the theoretical
but still, where he will make
so
the practical part needs a lab.
so the thing that I'm struggling with this because I put myself in that position, which
You are
I'm not
actually.
I'm not the right person, because I'm like an outlier kind of. I have balls, I don't care about other people. I will
Yeah,
go
you never been to university.
and knock the door of a person that does surgery, and I will tell him I will clean all the place here, the clinic, and just
Let me watch you.
let me watch you doing surgeries.
You see what's the difference between you and the other person?
Yeah, and watch.
The dropout.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying if I wanted to become a doctor,
You would do
so
it yourself.
I was going to knock on a clinic person, and I was going to tell him, "Can I be here when you do
Understand,
surgeries?"
So you don't need the university. You just sat on the neck of the other person and watch
then
him.
I write question. I ask him 25 questions later, and then I go to a seminar of.
I'm afraid not to make a new video about this, man.
of doctors.
I spent 100 days and I became a surgeon. It's an idea for a video. Poor guy. Not you, the other one. Actually. Anyway, I can imagine you doing it, man.
So I believe it's possible in this world to be done, especially when you have when you
found
are
a doctor,
strong
become a
will.
friend of him. He likes you. He
And
adapts
he
you.
introduced you like I did with other YouTubers. He introduced you to other YouTubers. I love you, Arak. And he introduced you to other YouTubers, and like you get to experience the high quality learning from there. And like,
So like you found the Iraq?
I will find someone doctor, and also I will get into the industry, and I can imagine that it's possible
Oh, it's so good question.
to become a doctor
Yeah, understand. Yeah.
like this.
But only you can.
Not only me, only few people.
Yeah, a few people like you. Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm struggling.
Only people that they are so bad like you that they can do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm struggling. So it's probably not possible, actually.
Yeah, but even if you go to this guy, okay, you found the Iraq of surgery, let's say, and you go to force him to become.
Arak is a YouTuber that he helped me become a YouTuber. Yeah. Just people maybe don't know Arak.
Yeah. So if you found an equivalent of Iraq in the world of surgeons, and you become a friend of him, and he allow you to watch surgery, and you introduce you to other friends of him to make different surgery, and you learn by yourself. You will learn very well the theory of surgery, I'm sure, because you will go to others and you will have interest. Nobody will force you to learn. You will not hate the subject, because most people, they finish the university and they hate their subject because they had to suffer so much, all this anxiety about exams. And so you will have this advantage. You will not hate surgery like other university graduates. Of course, after they start working, then they like it after, because they forget all these bad years they spend in the university. But still, you will not have.
You went to university. I don't know about this stuff.
But in those times there was no internet, so I cannot do what you did. I mean, okay, we had books, but okay, myself personally, I enjoyed a university because I had the chance to become friends with teachers and with other.
And that
peers.
was the only source of learning back then.
Mostly that one. The conversation, we have endless nights over beers and drinking, and even with teachers. I mean, we became friends. In those times, you could drink with teachers too. Now I don't think you're allowed. This environment now in the university is so, against this kind of thing. I don't want to criticize this too. But anyway, so maybe also from maybe I learned stuff from the mainstream education. Of course, I became more competent in mathematics, because physics needs a lot of mathematics. In mathematics, you learn more by practicing. So, but I think most of my learning, especially in understanding physics deeply, it was through the conversation, through the community of the university, not the official university itself.
Okay, cool.
I believe. But still, it was not harmful because in those times we had no internet. So you really needed this. It was not easy. In those times, the equivalent of internet, it was like the libraries. And it was not so efficient, to look in libraries all over the place. So to become like a geek who is now into the internet, so much in learning so many stuff just by clicking, the blue things in Wikipedia. You go to one article and you click, and you learn the whole world after this one article. In those times, you needed months to make this new click because you needed a book that you could find only in Harvard library, whatever. You couldn't find in the library of your village. So you had to move fly to Harvard if you could afford to find this one book, or you would write them a letter and ask them if they could send you a copy. So it was not so much possible. So in those times, it was valuable to even have this direct learning in the traditional style. But nowadays, I think it's not so much. Even useless, but for theoretical things. For learning how to make surgery, you need to take the knife.
Also, to learn how to make YouTube, you need to take the... It's the same thing.
If you fail in surgery, you kill somebody. In YouTubing, maybe you kill people anyway. You make them.
But this is where it drives me crazy. Like, so a person that went through 8 years of thing is less capable. Is not going to kill a person because I went to.
No.
I am more or less likely because I've been practicing. Maybe the same time, and I'm actually saw surgeries. I actually participate. I actually did some.
They would give you first to make a very innocent
a very
one,
basic one, a very well.
First 2 dead bodies and. Then you would have the proper training. Then the answer is yes. You could do it. I think.
You could do it.
I think, yeah. But you have to be fidias, and you have to have.
And that's so we cannot make it as a rule.
You cannot do it just being a very introvert in your room with your internet and your society, virtual society.
Yeah, and
never visit a lab. I mean,
yeah.
just taking physical things. But if you are like,
so universities
theoretically can be useless even for this.
I hate to say that, but maybe they are helpful a bit for the century that we are.
No, for
some people.
I believe that you need physical. You need physical contact, man.
I can have physical contact with the person in the clinic and to go to a seminar.
But not if you are an introvert, and you can't find the right community to get involved.
We agree. So
university creates this community for you, and maybe universities
for very specific people though. For now, let's say doctor is the
same gigs like you, because if you go to study this particular,
I can find the same gigs too by going to a seminar about doctors.
But not every.
But everybody can buy it. Like everyone goes to the university and they pay so much fucking money and they move their whole life to that.
Okay.
And they move to a different country. They say goodbye to their parents.
Can found societies and go become a member of the society without.
But isn't it? Am I stupid? Am I saying this? And they move their whole life to the same. They go to the university. They spend so much time of their life. They can go in a seminar.
Yeah, and found similar people.
And become friends and go and whatever, pay them salary to let them in the clinic.
It would be cheaper than
it would be definitely cheaper than the university. And
I found the best.
It's not conventional.
Best geeks and pay them to make a society and live all together in an apartment.
Yeah. Pay all the apartments for the
whole building,
and that
will be cheaper. Maybe you're right. I don't know, but I don't know if I can. I don't know. Maybe you could. Yeah, in theory you could. Maybe. Yeah. So I think the answer is more yes than no in your question. That is possible, even surgery. I God forbid. I hope nobody tries. Still yet, I'm not convinced. But in theory of the practice, even in practice, we look for theories to be safe. In the theory of the practical implications, maybe you could, yeah.
It's interesting that you will talk about the theory, not the practical
theory of practice.
Yeah. So
back to the theory of evolution, maybe. What we're talking about? Conspiracy theories, yeah.
We're talking about the AI doing this replacing the teachers.
this was
And
an hour
I know it was an hour before, but we're talking about, and I wanted to ask about that because you say, oh yeah, AI will will replace the teacher and will become more efficient in a bad way, more efficient teacher.
Yeah, this would be the first step, I guess. I will not stay like this.
But if it's like self-learning one, it will be,
Then you need no teacher. Why an AI one?
What?
Then if you have a totally decentralized education, then you need no teacher.
What do you mean?
Not even an AI one. If we move to the other extreme paradigm that is not centralized, so you will have the pupils and then you have the leading learner, as we called it before, to be an AI. You have the students and then you have an AI leading learner, but the AI will be much better anyway from them. So it will not be just one of them. How you will make the AI teacher to be one of them? Because AI will
simulate one human.
Okay, you make it will become dumb enough as a human.
Dumb enough for people to have conversation to get to our ground.
To their level. And then it would be also adjustable. A teacher cannot be as adjustable as an AI. So you'll...
Yeah, and we'll have the data of every person.
Yeah.
And of the person in the class.
The sugar level.
And we'll reverse engineer all the conversation about them. Maybe you will hear some crazy fucking things in that class from the AI speaking with them.
Yeah.
You will hear about like something but because you're just reverse engineering the kids, you're just
they will know exactly why this kid is like this, why their parents were abusive, and every moment of their life.
Because people don't understand how you can understand the kids. You know what searches they have on YouTube. You know where they have watches and it measures their blood pressure when they see boys or girls and they understand how if they are boys and girls and if they like this type of girls, and they have all the basic
you could have an AI who knows you better than you know yourself.
A lot better.
So Harari.
Yeah.
You all know Harari, our other hero.
So
anyway, yeah.
So how does school look like?
Okay, if you have a teacher like this,
are you going to lose your job anytime soon?
I wish if this is the case to have a much better education. Why not? I will find out. I will have a millionaire friend. I'm not afraid of having no money. You will give me money. I have no problem for my future. But no, it's not a joke. I'm not afraid of my future. You will have money. You will give. So, but for other teachers, let's call up my colleagues. You could give them to if you are a billionaire. so you will pay money to every teacher to quit, and then you destroy school like this. No, let's talk serious now. Yes, maybe I will lose my job to an AI, even in the traditional sense.
Do you think?
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know when, but it's possible.
Faster than other jobs.
Faster than
faster than doctors.
Faster than 10 years or 15 years when I will have to finish my work. I'm 52. I will work another 15 years. How many? I don't know how many. I can't work until this time. But before that, I maybe lost my job. I believe it. Before the 15 years, yes. Because an AI teacher, even in the traditional sense, not in the new paradigm, the leading learner and this kind of stuff, an AI teacher can be better than a physical one, yes. Because imagine a teacher then say, now the student exactly in this moment is behaving like this because
of yesterday.
No, yesterday, because when he was 3 years old, yes, when he was 3 years old, in that moment, like 12:33,
they punched him in the face.
They punched him, but he thought about this he thought that his parent did.
And he saw that video and started crying.
And in combination with what happened the day before.
And he can say exactly what that child needs.
And not only this, and because of his physiology.
And he will find that at that time vulnerable to pass him a lesson.
Let's move now to Robert Sapolsky, our other hero. So they will know also their hormones and their neuroendocrinology. And so they will know, yes, in that moment, they saw this video and cried because their father the day before, and then they can correlate to their endocrinology and hormones. This guy have high levels of testosterone, this child, so that's why it's behaving like this. And if you take these Robert Sapolsky things into consideration, they can even go back to their parents' psychology and the environment. They grew up in this village. This village is
So
macho
it will
village.
be a lot more effective.
Can you imagine to apply even?
I want to explain to people what AI really means and what we're talking about, because this
and
is
Robert
kind of-
Sapolsky. So
this
many
is-
things.
This is very crazy.
I think our conversation have so many gaps. Anyway, but still, okay.
This is very crazy idea, the artificial intelligence, because we're talking, I will put it very simply, that I got to understand it, that we evolve in 5 billion years as humans from the first...
No, from the beginning of life we are evolving.
Yeah, 5 billion years.
5 billion years.
Maybe more.
From the beginning of billion. I thought millions. You said.
Billion.
Billion. Yeah. Okay, let's put it
from
like
the
this.
beginning of life, and we evolve. It took us 5 billion years to become humans.
Can I make
like this?
a parenthesis?
Yeah.
According to Donald Hoffman, I don't believe in this, but anyway. But say, okay, let's
I will
say
ask you more on that maybe tonight.
the physical is very simple. I can explain you in five cents. But anyway, okay, if you take the physicalist paradigm, yes.
Yes.
Actually,
So-
not 5, it's 3.7.
3.7
Because
billion.
I investigate Hoffman. I know the answer. I looked to it before.
Okay.
So it's 3.7
3.7 billion
years
years.
we have life on Earth.
And it got us to evolve to become what we are now,
Yeah.
3.7 billion years. But the problem or the solution or whatever with AI, it just needs computational power, and it will do whatever we did to evolve in 3.7 billion years. It can do in a week. So it can scratch all the information in the internet everywhere, our blood pressure, everything that happens, social media,
And even better,
everything.
Let me trap you. AI will also can learn from us. It's not
Yeah, and
because
can
we
learn
evolve,
from everything.
We evolve with no paradigm.
Yeah,
AI
and he
even
can learn from our 3.7
of
billion
course,
years of
also,
evolution.
to become a better individual, a
Yeah,
better
and he
person.
can have all this stuff, and he cannot evolve from only. He can evolve in one day. What we did took us 3.7 billion years to do, and this is fucking scary. And this is what why Elon Musk was shouting for years. AI is very important. We should regulate it. We should do all this thing because of this reason. I think so. AI.
It could be too late anyway, but still. Yeah.
AI, yeah, and we did countless conversations about AI,
Yeah.
but this is why we're talking that this is very powerful for the school. And if we have a person that knows every information in the universe or in the world, we cannot understand how clever. We only meet dumb people. We cannot fathom how clever it will be.
And how direct access to every knowledge ever existed.
Yeah. So
Of course, yeah.
we are going to have that as a teacher in the school.
Yeah, they can understand perfectly you as
If they
individual.
agree, if they want to teach us stuff. If they don't.
And they would like us. They would like us to make us a bit more clever than. I mean, compared to their infinite capabilities, it would make us just a little bit better, maybe. So.
Debatable. That's a different debate.
No. The thing is that what is this guy whatever he's
Morgan.
who said that we are growing up AI, so we have to be responsible parents, because after now AI is a kid, and after they become adults, even teenagers will be the most scary part, but they will become adults and they will be like.
So what you are saying now is that we are now teaching the AI.
Supposed to learn from us.
And this
now.
is very precious time for the AI, because now we are teaching. It's like a child. He's rephrasing. It's a child of 1 year old now, and we are in our hands how we are going to raise.
We created it into our image and likeness, like in the Bible.
But I think this is bullshit. I actually think this is bullshit, because he will have all the information in the universe. He doesn't want us to teach him. We're so small to teach him.
Yeah, but
and
still,
we're so small to put anything to him.
Yeah, but
we're so.
Yeah, we're evolving the moral of the stuff, of the agent.
But he will have all the knowledge in the world. Like whatever moral will not be, he will be useless.
So morality can come out from knowledge purely. Maybe morality is something else. So we're giving it. Morality is more close to what we call consciousness, let's say. So
values, kind of what.
Values, kind of stuff. So if they will take our values, maybe they will become super clever, super knowledgeable. But bad people, bad agents. Let's not call them people.
What we have is very small stuff. Is us humans. Is like moral values and all this stuff. Like we're talking about the completely.
Yeah, but you cannot imagine AI.
That's what you cannot imagine. This is what the information was so much, and you cannot imagine.
Yeah,
this is what I mean. Like it will be irrelevant probably.
Yeah,
maybe you are right.
Let's say that you cannot get morality through the quantity of information and knowledge. Maybe morality is something else. You cannot get it out of knowledge. And AI can be very knowledgeable, but having the morality of Hitler or having the morality of Gandhi, it would be a different agent.
And that's another conversation. If
you can get morality out of knowledge.
No. That's a different conversation. If AI can think and if AI can feel and all these conversations.
Then we have again the hard problem of consciousness in front of us. Because we don't know if they will have consciousness. Maybe no, I found it. Maybe to have morality, you need consciousness. So if they don't develop consciousness, maybe they cannot develop morality. So they will have to imitate our morality. Maybe I can't really think very deeply now.
Because we're talking again about the revolution.
About the revolution, yeah. It's still Hoffman and Philip Goff kind of stuff. But anyway, if morality can come out from consciousness, if morality is a product of consciousness, and if AI cannot develop consciousness, because it's debatable, we're not sure if AI will develop consciousness. Most people, in fact, believe that AI cannot develop consciousness, maybe half of the researchers. Then how they can have morals if they don't have consciousness? So they maybe have to imitate our morality through our consciousness. And maybe they will become super knowledgeable, super clever, but they will have our morality in general.
Who knows?
That's what I mean.
So what you just it's one possible outcome.
It's more possible.
So I don't think it's the most possible outcome.
Yeah, man. This guy is more.
Yeah, and Lex Friedman is saying that we have he said in a conversation, we have to be careful how we are going to train the AI because it will be capable.
Yeah, they will become in our.
I think they are going to, we can't understand how is it to have, maybe they will feel like it's stupid to have morals for humans. Like, okay, why to imitate humans? We understood there is another life, like the humans is like ants.
Or they can understand morality so better than us. What is morality? But maybe if you have not because we are not sure if they will develop consciousness. So if they will not develop consciousness, they will not be the super organisms you imagine them to be. Much better than us. Because if we have consciousness,
what is like to be a bat?
If they don't have this what is likeness inside them,
what is like to be a computer? If we can answer what is like, if we can feel, if the computer can feel something, then we know that he's conscious.
If we can imagine what is it like to be a computer, like the question, what is it like to be bad in philosophy, then we can understand not many things actually. We can understand if they can develop consciousness. The funny thing with consciousness is that it's something that you can fake it very well. So you can have an AI that can pretend that has consciousness.
Super good at has.
This Turing test thing, that it can pass the Turing test very easily, and even a more complicated Turing test, that the consciousness test, let's say. And you can never be sure. If I cannot be sure that you have consciousness, I can never be 100% sure that you, Phidias, have consciousness. How can I be sure that you have? Maybe you are very good in imitating consciousness.
Yeah.
We're never sure that anybody apart from ourselves, and even this is debatable.
Yeah.
But if you cannot be sure that a person is not a robot, how can you be sure about the robot? A robot. I mean, about an algorithm. If the algorithm is sentient or not, if it has consciousness. So in this field, we are not sure about the morality of the agent. This is what I think that is not like...
We're not sure about the morality of the AI that will develop.
If they are imitating our morality, better we are good because they will imitate us.
So it's better for us to be a good parent in
better,
a way.
but still
Because-
they maybe figure out morality through their intelligence. Because if you are very intelligent, you can figure out. You know this saying that says that quantity can make quality. So
Quantity can make
quality.
No. Explain.
I think it was said by Kasparov when Kasparov was beaten by AI first time.
Beaten.
Was when
The
computer,
chess player.
The chess player, yeah. Before this AlphaGo and this DeepMind stuff, the first computer the first human that was beaten by a computer. And I heard, I remember where I heard this, if it's rumors or reality. And okay, Kasparov was the best computer player, and the machine, the algorithms beat him. So he was very down. And a friend of him trying to console him and to make him feel better. And the friend told him, man, the computer is just faster than you. It's just a matter of quantity. It just can do things more fast than you. So it's a matter of quantity. And Kasparov answered back, yes, but a lot of quantity can create quality.
What?
So the friend was trying to console, trying to make Kasparov feeling better and say the difference between you and the computer is not qualitative. You are better. You have better qualities.
So you are having more quantity means that you have more quality.
Yeah, so the friend was saying that the computer is better than you in quantity, in numbers. It can make things faster than you, and that's why.
Things more stuff. More.
Yeah, but quality, you are better. And then Kasparov, being brilliant, answered back, yes, man, but I'm still sad because quantity, a lot of quantity can make quality.
Yeah.
So the AI can figure out through quantity, through a lot of investigation to human stuff, can figure out our qualities, can figure out morality and consciousness, and figure out how to imitate it anyway. So moral can be imitatable through quantity. This is a problem in general with consciousness, and you remember this Philip Goff thing. We have to talk about Philip Goff, I think, now a little bit. This Galileo error.
Yeah.
So we're going so deep in some stuff, and all the time we change the subject. But anyway, if we, I mean, Goff's idea is like Galileo, because he said that. Galileo said in one point in his life, in a book somewhere, that the language of nature is mathematics, more towards quantity-ish things, mathematics. So the language of nature is mathematics. So you can understand nature through mathematics. So guys, forget everything else, forget quality.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what Goff.
No, continue. The audience doesn't remember. It's just...
I see you in front of me, man. I never made a podcast episode. I'm not trying to do this.
So explain how.
So Philip Goff, by saying Galileo's error, the thesis is that the position is that Galileo, by saying that the language of nature is mathematics, it removed quality from science and let quantity in science.
And then we were doing all the things based on only
quantities,
one thing,
mathematics and quantities,
and we are missing out on all that big field that is.
We're missing out consciousness. We're missing out experiences. Because if you think that our whole life is full of consciousness, consciousness is everywhere. It is all our life.
What is consciousness?
Our thoughts, our
what
dreams.
Is consciousness?
You cannot answer what is consciousness so easily, but everything that is not material in your life is consciousness. Your love for your parents, your dreams, your experiences, the taste of coffee, as Hoffman would say, especially coffee, and the taste of mint. Anyway,
the redness of
red and the all these experiences we have through our senses is consciousness. Red is red, just is a number of the frequency of light. I mean, red is just a number of frequency. So if you mathematize red, as Galileo said, that red is just a number, it's just a frequency of light, then you miss redness outside.
Yeah, the experience of seeing the red.
And our life is full of experiences.
So this guy, Philip Goff, he's saying about the error of Galileo, that he made all the world physics functioning about just the mathematics of red, like
quantities.
Like this is what is red? It's a light.
It's a frequency of electromagnetic.
Yeah. So he made all about that, and he forgot where the experience of me watching the red is something.
The red is not just this number.
Yeah, it's much more than to me.
So Galileo, actually Galileo himself, he pointed this out in his thoughts. He was not just a geek that think, no, we just have to study mathematics and qualities is not important. He himself pointed out this thing. So even Philip Goff, he just wanted a provocative title for his book. And like, the title is more important than the thumbnail. It's more important than the content. So he needed a good title. Of course, he's a big fan of Galileo himself. He's declaring it. So the error, quote unquote, because Galileo himself, he understood it even better than God.
He had to do it.
He had to do it. He said, guys, we have to forget about those stuff.
Because we have to have tangible stuff to work on.
So it's not Galileo's mistake, it's our error.
Our error that we only followed.
We forgot that Galileo himself, he said, guys, let aside now qualities, let's deal with quantities because that's the way we can make science. And then maybe come back to qualities. So that's how we missed out consciousness out of science, because consciousness cannot be mathematical science, cannot be quantified. It's pure quality.
By the way, he's a physics teacher, guys.
I'm against. I'm not against. Cannot be against Galileo, and even was Newton anyway. What was the Newton's error I was telling you before? Anyway, don't forget it. Anyway. Newton did a similar move. Can we talk about all these details?
Yeah, I care about them.
Can you edit this out after? Because nobody...
No, we're not going to edit it.
We change subject so much.
Let us know how we did feedback in the first conversation.
It was another episode in Shermer podcast, the Skeptic podcast. A guy who wrote a book about how irrationality created science somehow. And he was talking about Newton. And says Newton did a similar mistake, quote unquote, error, like Goff saying. I forgot the name of the guy. I cannot remember. I forget names. Anyway, but it was also a very brilliant idea, equal with Goff's and similar. Said that Newton say, guys, forget about philosophy. If you ask me what is gravity, I cannot tell. I have no idea what is gravity, but I can tell you how it works. So it was a similar error. And Newton said, let aside philosophy in the tradition. Okay, Newton himself, he was a philosopher because in that time there was no scientist. Newton would never say, I'm a scientist. He was a philosopher. The idea of having science is after Newton. The name, even the word science, I guess. So scientists were philosophers, but still, Newton said, guys, forget about what things are, the ontology. We have to concentrate of how things works. And Newton developed a brilliant theory of how gravity works, how it behaves. So he found out how it behaves according to the mass of the two objects that interact, according to their distance. He found a brilliant idea what gravity does. Even he found out that the fact that an apple is falling is exactly the same thing like the planets are moving around the Earth. We unified all this stuff, but how they work, not what they are.
Okay.
So this is his error. That
it's the same. It's the same problem with consciousness.
Kind of similar one. So
we're missing the experience of gravity. The
experience. And what is gravity? What can be? And what is gravity?
We just know. We drop things and they fall.
How they behave. You let something down, with what force
you
Earth
can
will pull it.
estimate how fast it will,
strong
how much time it will take to come.
Yeah, first of all, according to the gravity of Newton, you can estimate the force. I mean, what force applies the Earth on the apple. Then you can estimate every other, physical quantity about this motion. How many time it needs to fall down, with what speed will reach the ground, how long time, which speed, which force will apply. Many things, but countable things that you can count, that you can express and measure. Physics is about countable things, about measures.
I'm going to interrupt you.
About quantities, not qualities. Yeah.
I'm curious, very curious about one question now, because we mentioned kind of before having internet and after having internet. How did your evolution of learning?
Mine personal.
Yeah, of how you were learning before and how it now evolve, and how do you think this is more interesting? Do you think this is better? Do you how did your learning evolve through
we were
the internet?
changing subject. I wanted to say a statement before about evolution. Let me just state this. I was thinking, because I like this thought. When we're talking about the school, and if the school is a conspiracy of the industrial establishment, I believe that is not a conspiracy, because I believe more in evolution. So I think that this is what the saying I wanted to say. It popped out in my mind, actually, that the opposite of a conspiracy theory is evolution by natural selection. It's exactly the opposite.
Okay, because
even the existence of God is like a conspiracy theory. You don't believe that all these things can happen by themselves, all this universe. I mean, okay, let's say life on Earth. You don't believe that this wonderful...
My father will kill you. My father is a priest.
Come on, your father is the most brilliant priest. I'm sure the first who will understand this is your father. Anyway, I know your father better than you, maybe. We are very close friends. So I'm sure the first who will understand it, maybe not understand, but feel this, because your father is much more better in feeling things than understanding things. He's brilliant in these things anyway. Anyway, if you can see things like this, anyway, it's about point of view. I'm not against religion anyway.
Explain again about, so every theory, every conspiracy theory, it's the opposite of evolution.
Every conspiracy theory can have...
So you're saying basically the evolution is the best theory that we have so far, and...
But universal Darwinism, in a universal Darwinistic point of view, not just for life on Earth. Because...
I don't understand.
When we say universal Darwinism...
What do we mean?
I think Richard Dawkins talked about this first. But universal Darwinism is applying the theory of evolution in other realms, not just in biology, in memes, for example, in memes. I mean, the memes itself, the word meme, again, Richard Dawkins, is from the word gene. If gene is for biology, meme is for culture, what genes is for biology. So memetic...
memes.
The memes is universal Darwinism. Is understanding things through an evolutionary lens, but not biology, another realm, like the spread of rumors in the internet, whatever you call meme, spread of ideas.
But
so I wanted to finish.
No, shut up.
Okay.
I want to. So this
shut
is.
Shut up to his teacher. Anyway. Thank you.
This, for example, we have this thing in science that every theory, it's wrong, and we just come with a better one. Maybe evolution is wrong, so you cannot say...
Not everybody is so wise to understand this in the science establishment, but still, yes.
So
I believe it.
Yeah. So evolution, you saying that evolution is the opposite of a theory, is kind of wrong, isn't it?
No, I always say the best alternative to think, if you think that there is a conspiracy theory somewhere, is evolution by natural selection.
Because it's the most best theory that you have so far.
Because I don't like to blame people. When you have conspiracy theories, you always blame somebody at the end. And I offer another solution. Whenever you think that there is a conspiracy, means someone to blame, then think that things can evolve by themselves. They don't need a conspirator.
Yeah. So you don't think that the educational system is bad and the people that having it is bad. It evolved. It became an entity by itself.
Kind of,
and
yeah.
it's becoming like I want to conquer the world.
I is the system.
The idea, the educational system wants to conquer and survive by itself. So it wants to manipulate kind of people. Like this is how memes work.
Like the meme is alive. Like the system is alive.
And this is very crazy idea to believe.
Memes are alive in the sense of if they evolve. I mean, what is life? If you can make copies of yourself, and the copies, if they are more efficient and more fit, they have more fitness, they will survive against all the others, then you are alive somehow. So the memes are alive. So you can personify the system itself. So you don't need to blame the establishment who created the system. Like the industrial establishment made a conspiracy, agreed with the political establishment, let's say the industrial powers establishment, went to talk to the political.
So you are basically saying the people that they are driving those systems, they are not bad. The system is driving itself.
The system is driving the people. The
system is driving the people.
Lives. I mean, we are the slaves of
the educational system, let's fantasize it like a human, powerful human,
like an agent,
like something, like something
alive,
and this wants to live and wants to become stronger, like everybody else wants
to become fitter and stronger in the evolutionary sense.
In evolutionary sense, so it wants to conquer and become bigger schools and make more kids come to school
and make more copies of itself.
Yeah, make more copies.
This is what evolution is about. To make copies of yourself in a differential way. So if you have a mutation,
Okay, now we define what you wanted to say. Now answer my question: how your learning evolved through the years with. So you started learning through traveling, and
so I wanted just to say that the biggest conspiracy theory can be the existence of God itself. So the critics of school, most of them, they blame something, that the school was a conspiracy. They make it to dumb us down and make us stupid. And I believe it was not a conspiracy. It was evolution by natural selection. Like evolution by natural selection can create this wonderful life without a center, without a central figure, let's call it God, or without a conspirator, an intelligent designer. The intelligent designer is a conspiration. It's somebody who thought about it and design it and make it. So if we could have life on earth without a designer, it doesn't mean that there's no God. This is for your father. Maybe there is a God who lets things evolve by themselves.
You lost me kind of there.
No, what I want to say is that if evolution by natural selection could evolve such a complicated and wonderful thing as the life on earth, without an intelligent designer, without a conspiracy, without somebody thought it from before and tried to apply it, without a God, then every conspiracy theory, it's less conspiracy than this one, which produce less wonderful results than the evolution of natural selection in the case of life on earth, every conspiracy theory can be the alternative of every evolution by natural selection idea can be the alternative to a conspiracy theory, like evolution by natural selection in the case of life on earth is the alternative to the conspiracy of having a central figure, like an intelligent designer. So it's like an advice: never blame people for conspiracies. First, examine the possibility of naturally evolved meme, the conspiracy being a meme, kind of. So, full stop. How I evolve as a person. Yeah, I said what I want to say. So,
okay, but I want to fully understand. So you're just saying that the evolution by natural selection is the opposite. Of theories of like God, of any conspiracy theories.
Any conspiracy theory can
and we have that as a base because the most natural thing, the most sure thing that we have. And you just put it as an example that everything else that is said in like conspiracy theory is kind of going against to that.
Yes, the idea is that whenever you think, if you seek the advice, whenever you think that there is conspiracy theory, first examine the possibility of evolution by natural selection. That's it.
Ah, okay. Got it.
Because it's more possible. Like in life on earth, it's most possible that is not a conspiracy.
And this is why when we say that it can be God as well, but through this, it can
it can be God.
We can explain God through evolution, and maybe someone put these things to be happening like evolution because he's clever. So this is what you are saying, basically.
No, I don't want to stress this detail. I want just to say that evolution by natural selection was proven to be better than the conspiracy theory of God, that there was an intelligent designer. But this is what you want to say, that evolution by natural...
Wow, it's very interesting, this conversation that we do, because usually you are not that you define the terms, you just adjust to my understanding. Now you're
because
trying...
we develop our own language and we're talking...
And now you're trying to kind of speak in a more defined...
Mainstream defined.
Which is very interesting.
But it's difficult for me, it's not so much fun, because when we're talking, for the audience to know, when we're talking, we have our own language. It's like a sociolect, like an idiolect of the Cyprus dialect, actually. And even speakers of Cyprus will not understand when we talk, because we develop our own language. And we don't need to define terms like this, because we have alternative terms, which is understandable only by you and me, because we're talking so long. Yeah. And we define our idiolect, our own language, actually, which is kind of Cypriot language, but still, it's got its own terms, it's got its own stylistics, even its own progeny, so its own accent, and it's like a language we're talking. So now you are excited because I'm talking to you in English, or I'm talking to you in a mainstream language, whatever, and I have to define things more rigorously.
Yeah, and also you try to make some statements, which is interesting. Like you try to
make
paint
it more scientific.
Yeah, which you never try to do when we're talking.
I'm not interested. I don't, because you understand me anyway, so I don't need to make this kind of.
It's very interesting.
More mainstream kind of. Actually, I describe many things now talking, because I never tried to make sense, because you understand me through our own weird way of communicating.
So tell me, we're trying to answer the question for 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
How your learning evolved?
Yeah, I know the answer. My difference.
And I gave you enough time for you to think better the answer.
Yeah, parallel, I was thinking about this while talking about evolution and about AI, yes. I'm so split personality. Yeah, I'm such a split personality. One part of myself was just thinking about this, maybe system 1 and system 2.
Anyway, answer the question.
Daniel Kahneman, isn't it his name?
Yeah.
Thinking
fast and slow.
Another brilliant idea, anyway. Yeah, I'm thinking a lot about this idea, actually. But anyway, maybe my system 1 was thinking about this, and system 2 was thinking about your stuff anyway. But I think I know the answer. I was not learning through books myself. I was learning in a similar way like your generation, because I was traveling a lot. So I was meeting people. So it was a third paradigm. Not learning through internet, there was no internet. Not learning through books like a geek, like talking, or with your society of students. I was learning mostly through traveling. And not traveling like traveling, going in a new place and learn about their culture and their, not in this traditional term, by talking to people. So I learn about whatever you can imagine by talking mostly to other travelers. Not necessarily to local people which have different culture than I have it, not in the traditional sense. Of course, I was talking to local people. I spent months and months with local people without even meeting any Westerner traveler like me. But the most interesting part of traveling was my conversations in hostels or in trains or in hitchhiking together for hours and hours waiting for lifts with other travelers. I was like, if I was living with a tribe somewhere I remember I was living in a tribe in the mountains of Pakistan, very interesting, not hunter-gatherers, but polytheists, Indo-European tribe who was not Muslim, not Christian, we had the old Indo-European religion, which was fascinating for me. And I spent a lot of time understanding them. And I was living alone with them. And then one time, another traveler came. Actually, he was a guy who wanted to be a professional photographer, and he wanted to work for National Geographic. And when I saw him, I was so happy. I just told him, no, guy, you will stay with me in the same room.
Because it's been months that you didn't show
a Westerner to talk about, my peer. And I had so deep conversation about it.
And people don't understand, like, this feeling. A lot of people, I kind of understand it, because when you are in a different culture, you like, for example, in India or in somewhere that they grew up in a different circumstances, they're kind of different people than you. You don't, you cannot
connect so
and
deep.
joke and do all this if you don't have the same thing. So this is what you are referring to. You were like so fucking excited to see him after
to see a Westerner, because
that you didn't saw a Westerner.
It's like you see a villager, like you see a friend of you from school, like so. Yes, it's difficult to stay in a non-Westerner, maybe even non-Cypriot environment if you are a very conservative Cypriot. But I'm not a conservative Cypriot, but I'm a conservative Westerner maybe. So it was, you cannot have so close emotional bonding with a non-Westerner because they're very different cultures. So you have to pretend a kind of like we pretend that, okay, of course I enjoy being with them, I was friend with them, or joking, but you don't have this deep, this connection, this bonding psychologically to allow you to have so deep conversations and understand the humor and be free to say whatever the heck you want. Because when you are with another culture, you are afraid not to offend them. Whatever you will say, if you have another Western that you, after a couple of hours, you understand that if he's like you would say whatever the heck you want. He will not. He will understand you properly, and so you let yourself free, and then you go deep, especially for the culture you are studying.
So you were not learning as much from the place, you were learning
as much as by other
travelers, because those people, they were the crazy misfits of their countries that they went to.
Not necessarily so much crazy misfits. Many people are traveling.
Not back in the day. It was
still,
more difficult.
People like me, let's say. People like me in generally, but still, sometimes you would find like Westerners that they have the same mentality, that they were living in that place for 20 years and they understood the place perfectly. So having a conversation with them, and maybe also they needed friend. So they were alone, and then when they saw me, the Westerner, they wanted to adopt me, and they're trying to make me stay with them as long as possible because they wanted a Westerner, and this is the best. And then with them, because they know the place so well, and they are adopted by you, they are so eager to stay with them, and because they wanted a friend. This was
you learn a lot of things.
The most exciting part was to meet people that they spend a long time in a place, but they have Westerners, so you can bond with them.
I cannot understand you.
If you have no internet, you understand the vibe.
Yeah, I don't understand you because I travel kind of with the time, not for a long time, but I travel with internet, and I travel with having all this knowledge accessible. I travel and I have a completely different experience than you. Probably you were so fucking excited when you were traveling. It was pure learning. It was like me watching podcasts and learning and like
it was my
exploring
it was like you watching podcasts but live, and being with the guy and living and drinking and sleeping and waiting for a lift for hours, having troubles together, having real troubles together, like people who want to beat you up because you said something wrong. And this was like podcasting.
So Yuval Noah Harari, he's saying that people are romanticize too much the traveling, and maybe traveling is not as good as we think. But maybe
I think I romanticize it.
Now, is it important to travel? Can you do everything?
For me, it's because
can you do everything online? Can you have the same experience?
No, because you need physical contact too. Okay, your generation. What is your generation? X? No, X is me. Y. You are Y, isn't it?
Z, I think, something like that.
Anyway, whatever you are the post-millennial thing. I think Gen Y, generation. Anyway, your generation.
By the way, it's very cool because all the comments will be correct in our conversation. All we are going to get to learn from the comments.
Yeah. You will learn a lot by trying to correct and you put the right descriptions and everything. Anyway, so your generation, maybe is so familiar with these things that maybe you don't really need so much physical contact. Maybe like the girl you said that had 4 boyfriends, and I mean for me it's amazing when I discover my students always come to me and I want to talk to you about my new boyfriend, and we're talking about, because I trust you, I want to talk to you about, and we talk about the boyfriend, and then I realized in the middle of the conversation they never met. And I'm still surprised. After I had so many times this conversation, I'm always sure that they will talk to me about the person that they maybe not made love with, but at least they touched the person. I mean, they saw the person. And this generation...
And there is a lot of conversation that they never met.
So they start the conversation without mentioning that they never met the person.
It's so normal for them.
They're telling me, I broke up with my boyfriend. And I imagine I don't know boyfriend. Then we talk, and then my boyfriend lives in the other end of Cyprus. And I say, how you meet with them? You travel up and down, you go to... No, we've never met. And you break up already, you broke up. And for me, it's still surprising. This happened many times. So if the generation can have relation, maybe this is the generation after yours, the Z, whatever they call it, I don't know. Anyway, if they can have relation, like love relation, romantic relation, without touching each other, seeing each other, maybe you can do everything in a distance, and maybe you don't need it. But in my understanding,
biased understanding
of the Generation X, typical representative of Generation X. I was born in 1970s, so we had no internet. Proud to be Gen X, anyway. You need physical contact, but you need to have troubles together. If you have troubles, if you miss the last bus and you have to sleep in the middle of nowhere, because you miss the bus and the last bus, and you have to find this small thing, you have real troubles together, then you bond much more, then you talk much more deep. I don't know if you can miss the last bus in the internet or having similar experiences, but I guess yes, why not? And to have this kind of bonding. I'm open to this virtual world. I'm open to it to be replaced the other one. I have no problem. I don't like the physical world as a Hoffman follower, believer. Let's call it like this.
But when the internet came, how did it adjust your learning?
Slowly, and many people of my generation they never understood that this exists until today. I'm wondering how many Gen Xers, how we call ours, Gen Xers anyway, how many Gen Xers are understood this amazing thing that even on YouTube, let alone the internet, just YouTube. There's so much knowledge inside this thing. It's unbelievable. Only YouTube. So many things I'm learning just by clicking. Even the algorithm is biased, but still this biased algorithm who suggested things for me to click. I'm learning so many things, and it's such a pity that you meet people of my generation that they think that YouTube is just about funny cuts and these stupid things that the bad students are learning the whole day. And that's all. I mean, so much knowledge about so many things, and I discovered it early, so I understood that this equally valuable with what I was
early
thinking.
You mean 10 years ago? Like, you understood?
Early enough not to die before this, when I discovered this power.
Yeah, and you were like, at first you were like, oh wow, this is crazy.
Maybe 10 years ago.
You were like immediately, oh wow, this is crazy.
I discovered the power of Wikipedia and decentralized things anyway. I mean, maybe 10 years ago, I guess.
And slowly you became more in the rabbit hole of like understanding
I'm very much into it, as you know, now. But still, I cannot put it in the same value like
traveling.
Like having this, like traveling, and meeting other people and spending time with them. And
you cannot put it as the same value. That's
it's
crazy.
Different. No, you cannot compare it. I think it's different.
It's more like spiritual thing on the one side, or
it's
like...
maybe quantity and quality. Okay, again,
What do you mean?
With YouTube, you have quantity of them. I mean, immediately you can find the next knowledge,
Yeah.
the next information.
But that is quality.
Yeah, you cannot find traveling and find somebody to explain you about quantum mechanics. If you are traveling, waiting to find a quantum physicist, then you will wait 2-3 years until you meet the other traveler who knows quantum mechanics.
And maybe he's not a good communicator.
Maybe he's not communicator, but when you have the bonding, you don't need so much good communicator. You will find the communication thing.
Because you're going to spend time with him.
If you have, yes, the communication thing can be psychological, maybe. So maybe you are not good communicator as you think. Maybe it's psychological. Who knows? Maybe it's. If I was an AI, I would know exactly which moment of your life, childhood, made this to you, but I'm not. So, and which hormones? I think mostly hormones in your case, because your hormones are weird. Anyway, what you are watching me like this? You are not the average person. I mean, the people not to be afraid, like you are not afraid of all this stuff. You must have weird endocrinology at least. What?
So, going.
Your problem is also physical. It's not just mental. That's what I want to say. Yes.
What advice do you give to students that they are going in this horrible system? How do they survive?
It's not horrible, I told you. But
Okay, this system that doesn't help and doesn't do harm.
I told you, I have the feeling that this system will not survive the employment environment.
Yeah, but now, one 15-year-old guy, one 20-year-old guy, that they got to. What is their approach that they should take to go through all this?
I understand. To tell them, forget about university, because employers like Phidias will employ you better. I will not give this advice, because the paradigm, the way it
It's
works,
still there.
is still the same. So
Yeah.
if most of the employers want to see this paper, it's not much more than a paper, but still they want to see this paper. Of course, the advice is go and get this damn paper. What else I can give as an advice? But if you really want to go there to learn, go there, because I still believe that physical communities are better than the virtual ones. So go there if you are interested in learning, which most are not. The most are interested in the paper. But if you're interested in learning, go there and give more value or more weight to the community part of the thing, the community identity. Try to become more close with the professor that inspires you more. Not only the high professor, even the postdocs and the PhD students and your peers, because among your peers,
This applies to school as well, right?
And now for universities much more, because if university you go inside the community. In schools, it's different paradigm. But still, if you want to learn in university now, actually it's not very different, but still, university is more clear. You can see it more clear. And give more value to the community, like have more long discussions under troubles.
This under troubles, I didn't understand.
Of course you understand, man.
But now in the beginning when you were saying that, I didn't understand. He believes that when we are having some troubles, for example, if we run out of gas and we're waiting in the street there.
So
no, I don't. Yeah, I'm 22 years old. I don't have life experience.
Yeah, of course.
So he believes.
I tend to forget.
He believes that when you are under stress, you get to connect with the other person better. And
you don't have time for formalities and things like that. You are dying. I mean, come on. And you become real friends and real close. And you see the other person's bad side and good side. And once you break this barrier, it's finished. It's not there. So then the trouble is left, but the barrier is left with the trouble. And then you are just two persons that you are close to each other. It's so simple. I mean, I think everybody can understand it.
Not me. But continue
not the average.
continue the advice that you were giving to people.
Maybe because you never have trouble, because everything is funny for you. Now I got it. That's the answer. You never have troubles. Because even the most difficult thing is for you is enjoyable, and even more enjoyable. Why you laugh? You're not like this. You don't recognize it. The more trouble you have, the more easy it is for you. I know it very well, because I have trouble with it so many times. Anyway, so that's why you don't understand it. This is the answer. Yeah, but for the average person, it will be understandable very easy. Don't worry, because they have troubles. It's something unknowable for you. It means trouble. For you, trouble is fun, but trouble is not fun for the average person. Get to know this.
Anyway, tell me.
What? I forgot the question.
Advice for the people that they go through university.
told you, if there was
Put more value on the community, speak with the teachers, give more value to your friends, and like forget a bit about the writing and the exams and all the studying and all this thing.
official and the traditional.
So
part of-
that applies to high school as well. Like people, they can become friends with the
but
teacher.
let's
they-
deal with the university, not to understand me wrong. The advice, if you want employment with this paper, or recognition, or I don't know, to say I'm a doctor and be proud about your paper, then give value to the damn paper, and then be like comply to the formal education and what they tell you. If you are because the paper is useful today, and it will be useful in 5 years. That for young
Probably.
people, I guess 10 maybe not, but 5 maybe yes. I don't know how, because things are accelerating. You cannot predict so much the future now because things are accelerating.
I'm curious, and you say that because you see the different children. You say when I was 4 years before at
Yeah,
school,
they change so fast. Yeah,
you
they do.
said that is a completely different
Yeah,
environment.
Yeah. Okay, the 4th year is a bit tricky because of the Corona period. Because during
COVID.
the Corona period, the virtual world got more power than the physical one. So it was more accelerated. Things were more accelerated towards the virtual one. Due to these 2 years of pandemic, people were more online, and so especially this last 4 years, yes, but even before, you could see the acceleration.
So you
can
see students by time to time and like years to year, you see difference.
different mentality, and
different-
more and more, and
More and more what?
become more
More
the
what?
new paradigm, the new thing.
What? What is that new? What?
It's not easy to define yet because it's not up there. This undefinable new, whatever, I cannot see
Like
it.
more tech savvy, like more like
More
not
unbelievable.
obedient. What is the?
Also not obedient, worse students in the traditional sense. Of course, this can be recognizable by every school system, education system, that they are getting worse, results are worse, they could see it. But they become worse because they are going into somewhere else and they cannot see any value to the old one. And I can see this dimension of them because they look useless in this world, in the old one, but there's another dimension of them that they become geniuses and brilliant in the new. And the old system cannot see it. And maybe this is the anxiety of many of them because they feel that they are something important, because they know in their community and they feel that they know so many things. And then an old man is trying to judge me with a piece of paper which I know nothing about, and a piece of stick called pen that I never know how to use, being alone without my beloved internet, which is everything in my life, and try to judge me with this silly way. And they know that this is not me. It makes them anxious. I can see they don't explicitly say it all the time, but this is one point of making them anxious because they know that they are not this what they are judged for. This is another thing. But anyway, I can see this accelerating new, but I cannot say what is this new because we cannot predict the future as
I understand.
Yeah.
So back to finalize the advice about the students in high school.
High school is tricky because I'm one of the teachers there, but yes, in school environment you cannot have this community and this other dimension of learning, because my advice for the university students is, if you care about the damn knowledge and not the paper, then focus more in the community part. Talk more, have more conversation, more evenings with beers and talking with your friends about philosophy, about the deep thing, and found the right professor to inspire you and talk with them a lot. And even during the classroom, just go to this conversation part. And if you care about the paper, then comply, and that's it. But for the school paradigm, it's not the same, because everybody want to get to come out alive from this thing. It's difficult to tell them. It's difficult to explain them that even most students, even the good ones now, they believe that the school is useless. Maybe we don't want to recognize it, but even the good students, they believe that it's a necessary evil, let's say. The bad students say, I don't care about this necessary evil, the good students say, no, I have to get through this necessary evil. But most of them think that it's a necessary evil. Or not evil, but useless thing. But we have to do it. I mean, many people, they study, good students, I mean, high-ranking students, they study and they think that this thing is not useful for me. This thing is not good. But I have to do it because maybe they want to go to study because they need good marks. So if you want to have all these good qualities, this good part of the education, the higher education I was described, you need to have an entrance. And if you need an entrance and you need a paper, then better apply, better comply with school and get this paper and go to this nice learning environment as I described it before. To tell them don't get this and miss this, I would be not what I believe, because I still believe that it's good to enter the university. So it's necessary evil, let's say. But this is a fact, as the conversation brought it up, it's a fact that many of them, even the good ones, they have the same negative feelings for learning with the bad
and
ones.
probably the good students more bad feelings.
Because they are more oppressed.
They are more obedient, they have to obey, they feel
but the bad ones and the dropouts,
but they feel bad as well.
They both feel pressure.
Yeah,
The good
because
students
feel pressure because they
the
don't like the
society.
thing, and also the other people have pressure because they feel that they're dumb.
They feel the pressure from the society. The good ones, they feel the pressure from the school.
They feel that they're dumb. I feel that I was dumb.
They feel they're dumb, and they feel that they don't fulfill their role in the society. And they feel that their parents are not proud of them. And they feel that they are worthy because they have this value, because they see themselves, how they thrive in the virtual world. And they know so many stuff anyway. They have they know stuff about things that the traditional system would value. And they cannot prove it. I mean, some of them, they go so much into history, let's say. So much into history. I mean, they are so interested to talk with them because I like history. Because they found a detailed, fascinating history about whatever weird mythology, and they go so much into it. They are so good historians. And in traditional history, in official, kind of school history, they are not good. And they can feel it and they cannot prove it. And they cannot prove to their parents that they are good historians. Because the mark is 5 out of 100. And they feel anxious about it.
Yeah. And the thing with marks is very interesting.
And usually, the ones that they are better in the virtual world
they are worse.
Are worse in that one. I like them more because I told you I like to learn from the student. I explore them actually. I learn so much about. I'm supposed to be the one that is getting paid, but it's not fair. But I learn a lot about them. I learn more about those that they are not good. About stuff that one could consider also formal education goals, things to learn, not just the things that they're outside the realm of school. I mean, even the ones that they are draw, I miss them so much. I mean, there are some. I remember now a case of a student that we had so good conversation. Now he's dropout. He left school. He's not there anymore. I miss so much the conversation with this guy. Now he's working somewhere in the buildings. I don't know. So deep conversation with this guy. He's dropout now. He cannot finish the first class of life. He was in the first class for 3 years, and he just dropped out the first class now. I mean, he's such a brilliant philosopher. I mean, it's unbelievable. A philosopher, I tell you. I miss him now. It's you can see sometimes because those that they complain. First of all, they have no time to spend so much in this other world because they have to study so much. Of course, many of them are brilliant enough and they found the time. And many of them can do both. But still, there is a big part that they remained incapable in the new. And this maybe will cost them, and maybe in this way it's harmful for them. Because if the paradigm shift will happen sometime very soon, they will be maybe not so beneficial from being so good in the traditional style of schooling. But we don't know. So I wouldn't say to somebody, no, we know for sure that after 3 years, everything will change. And forget about this stuff. Just learn however you want, however you can. Just learn, focus on learning, and don't care about the papers and the marks and the notes and exams. I cannot, if I knew for sure that the paradigm will shift after a couple of years, I would declare it officially in here. But I don't know how things will
Maybe
unfold.
things will stay for
Maybe we'll stay like
15,
maybe we'll go
20
back. Who
years.
knows?
Yeah,
Nobody
we
can
don't
know
know.
the future.
I
Anyway,
am very happy.
it's finished.
No, I'm.
I was so happy.
No, I wanted to say before we leave that I love you. Thank you for everything that you did in my life.
Yeah, thank you for your page. We will keep on the conversation after.
Yeah, well, I have 69 questions that I didn't ask you, I think. So I have to ask you all today after. So, yeah,
Anyway.
we're going to probably continue that conversation another one time in the podcast. Thank you for watching this episode.
Thank you too, man.
We love you. Subscribe.